Villainess POV. I sigh as I look at the long line of people waiting to see the Easter Bunny. This is the only day they have free pictures with him, so it's the only day I can bring my daughter, Phoenix, to see him. I look down at her and smile. She just turned 5, and she's the light of my life. She has a head full of blonde curls and bright blue eyes, whereas I have dark brown hair and hazel eyes. My sweet angel is the only good thing he ever gave me. Even thinking his name makes me angry. Mommy, is it almost my turn? Phoenix asks. It's going to be a little while longer, but don't worry, we're not leaving until you see him. She smiles and stands on her tiptoes to try to see the Easter Bunny. I have brought her to see him every year since she was a baby. She has been asking me for months if it was almost time for her to talk to the Easter Bunny. When I asked her why she was so excited, all she would say was that it was between her and the Easter Bunny. Every time I look at Phoenix, I think of how close I came to losing her. I had been dating Cole for about 6 months when I found out I was pregnant. We always used a condom, but one of them obviously didn't work. I was excited when I told Cole, but he became so angry that he screamed at me that I was trying to trap him. That's when he told me that I meant nothing to him and that he was engaged to marry someone else. I was heartbroken, but I quickly realized that I wasn't in love with him. He tried to force me to get an abortion, but I refused. I told him I didn't want anything from him and I would raise my child on my own. I thought that was the end of it, but I was wrong. When I was almost 9 months pregnant, I was coming home from an appointment with my doctor. I could barely drive because my belly was so big, but I lived in Kelseyville, a rural part of Northern California, where there were very few other options. As I was driving along a twisting, winding road, a car hit me from behind. I looked in the rearview mirror and saw Cole in the driver's seat. The look on his face gave me chills. I sped up, hoping to get away, but his car was faster. He hit me repeatedly, and I fought to keep my car on the road. We were going around a sharp turn, and Cole hit me just right to send my car over the cliff. I screamed and held my belly as my car went through trees and rolled onto its top. The windshield was broken, and I was able to get myself out before losing consciousness. I don't know how long I lay there until some hikers found me. They woke me up and called 911. I was screaming from the pain in my stomach. I was bleeding, so I thought I was losing my baby. When medics finally got to me, they had to deliver Phoenix where I was at the base of the cliff. Hearing her cries made me forget about all the pain I was in. She was perfect and unharmed. I had a broken arm, a broken leg, 3 broken ribs, multiple cuts and bruises, but knowing my little girl survived was all I cared about. I hadn't chosen a name for her yet, but I decided to name her Phoenix because she was strong and lived through a horrific ordeal like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Cole was arrested for attempted murder, and he is currently serving his time in Folsom Prison. I decided I no longer wanted to live out in the middle of nowhere, so as soon as we were released from the hospital, I began making arrangements to move. I had been working as a receptionist at a skilled nursing facility and started looking for similar jobs. The issue I was having was finding one that paid enough to cover rent, my bills, and food. I eventually found a job at an assisted living facility in Elk Grove, California, that paid decently. I could only afford a studio apartment, but it was enough for my baby and me. Unfortunately, we are still in that apartment 5 years later because I still can't afford anything bigger. That's why we come to see the Easter Bunny on the one day we don't have to pay for a picture. Mommy, it's almost my turn, a phoenix says excitedly. There are only 2 kids in front of us. I smile and try to tame her wild curls. You wait here, Mommy, because I need to tell him a secret, she says when it's her turn. She walks over to the bench and sits beside the Easter Bunny. After smiling for her picture, she whispers something to him, and he looks at me. Oh, no, what did she say? Nash's POV. I stare at the woman who is watching me as I take a picture with her daughter, and I can't look away. She is so beautiful. I may be dressed like a big Easter bunny, but I'm a man underneath the costume. The little girl looks at me and smiles. I'm Phoenix. Can I tell you a secret? She asks. Is she going to tell me that her mom likes me? Oh, wait, we're not in high school. I'm an adult despite the fact that I feel like a teenage boy right now. Sure, I tell her. I don't want an Easter basket for Easter this year. I just want my mommy to be happy. I look from her to her mom again. Why isn't your mommy happy? I ask her. I wonder if she is married or has a boyfriend who is making her unhappy. I don't know, but sometimes I hear her crying at night when she is dreaming. I don't want her to be sad anymore. Can you help my mommy? You are the Easter bunny. What do I say? Before I can stop myself, I say the first thing that comes to mind. I'll see what I can do, I tell her while looking at her mom. What is your mom's name? Why am I asking? What do I really think I'm going to do to make her happy? Braylon, I want to tell her what I told you because I want it to be a surprise. Bye, Easter Bunny. Phoenix jumps off the bench and gets her picture from Lynn, the photographer, but I can't take my eyes off of her mom. I want to make the little girl's Easter wish come true, but how? An hour later, I'm done playing the Easter Bunny for the day, so I go into the back of the shopping mall to change. I run my fingers through my sandy brown hair and head back out into the main part of the mall. As I'm heading for the exit, I can't believe my eyes. Phoenix and Braylon are only a few yards ahead of me. This is my chance, but what am I going to do or say that will make Braylon give me the time of day? I start walking faster to catch up to them. Mommy, when is Easter? I hear Phoenix ask. In 16 days. Are you excited for Easter this year? Braylon asks as they go outside. Yes, because I asked the Easter Bunny for something special. I'm so distracted listening to their conversation that I forget that I'm trying to find a reason to talk to them until Braylon turns to look at me, and I almost run into them. Can I help you? She asks, moving Phoenix away from me. Oh great. She thinks I'm a kidnapper. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to where I was going, I reply. She nods and continues walking without saying anything else. Well, that didn't go very well. How can I rectify this? I heard your little girl talking about Easter. I'm not sure if you know this, but there is an Easter egg hunt at Regional Park tomorrow. It starts at 10 in the morning, and there are tons of eggs. Braylon looks at me with her eyes narrowed. Do you have kids? She asks. No, I reply. Then why are you hanging out at places with lots of children? Well damn, I walked into that one. I volunteer at the Easter egg hunt every year because I live in the area. My mom used to take me there when I was a kid, and it was a lot of fun. Her face softens, and she smiles slightly. How much does it cost? She asks. It's free. They have areas separated for age groups, so the older kids don't run over the little ones. Some of the eggs have numbers in them, and after the hunt, you take the ones with numbers to the prize tent and pick out a prize. Phoenix starts clapping her hands excitedly. Mommy, can we go? She asks. Braylon smiles and nods. Yes, we can go. Thank you for telling us about it. They begin to walk away, and I try to think of a reason to continue talking, but I can't come up with anything. Well, at least I'll get a second chance to see them tomorrow. I head to my car and drive home. I would like to say I work hard for a living, but I don't. I'm 27 and a millionaire, but all of my money came from making good investments. I went to college and got a degree in business. My plan was to open my own company, but I had no idea what kind of company I wanted. 2 weeks after I graduated, my mom died from a brain tumor. She had suffered from migraines and tension headaches her whole life, so she ignored the pain, thinking it was just one of her headaches. A week before she died, she saw her neurologist, who had her do some imaging, and they found the tumor. She was scheduled for surgery for them to attempt to remove it, but she died 2 days before her surgery was scheduled. My dad had died when I was a baby, so she was all I had. I was devastated when I lost her. She left me a little money from a life insurance policy I didn't even know she had. I thought about saving it, but I decided to take a chance and invest it instead. I invested in the right thing and ended up tripling the money. I just kept buying and selling stocks until eventually I was up to well over 50 million. I've never had a regular job because I haven't needed one. However, I volunteer a lot. My mom was really into volunteering, and I would go with her. I felt like I owed it to her to continue even after she was gone. So I volunteer at soup kitchens, shelters, and the local children's hospital. I dress up as the Easter Bunny and Santa every year, and I donate the checks they give me to charity. I also volunteer at the Easter egg hunt, and at Christmas, I do horse and carriage rides. It doesn't snow in this part of California, but people like riding in the carriage, looking at the decorated houses, and drinking hot cocoa. I sit down at my computer and type a Braylon in California into the search bar to see if I can find out anything about her. There are more Braylons than I expected. I scroll through the images and find one that looks like Phoenix's mom, but it's from several years ago. It's a news article about a man trying to kill his mistress and unborn child. I read what this cold person did, and my body fills with anger. If he weren't already locked up in prison, I would kill him myself. From the looks of the car, she and Phoenix are lucky to be alive. After I'm done reading, I sit back in my chair and think as I look out my office window. I have a nice house, but it's not overly big. I'm not one for wasting money on unnecessary things. I think back to my brief encounter with Braylon. She asked how much the Easter egg hunt costs. She is probably like most people, living paycheck to paycheck. I wonder if I can convince her to let me take her and Phoenix out to lunch tomorrow after the Easter egg hunt. I've gone out with women, but after the first or second date, they all seem to be only interested in how much money they can get from me. I don't flaunt my wealth, but I wear nice clothes and drive a nice car. Those seem to be a beacon for the vultures. I want to find a woman who wants me for who I am. Is that so much to ask? I can't explain it, but I have a feeling that Braylon is exactly the woman I have been looking for. Now I just have to convince her that I'm the man of her dreams. Braylon's POV. Did you enjoy seeing the Easter Bunny? I ask Phoenix as we make chicken noodle soup and grilled cheese sandwiches for dinner. I'm hoping I can get her to tell me what she asked him for so I can try to get it for her Easter basket. Yes. I can't wait until Easter because I know he's going to give me what I asked for. She begins humming Here Comes Peter Cartentail, and I know I'd better drop it for now. I'll have to get creative on getting her to tell me what she asked for. As we eat our dinner, I think about the man who told us about the Easter egg hunt tomorrow. When I saw how close he was walking to us, I thought he was trying to pickpocket me or take Phoenix. He seemed like he wanted to tell me something, but I couldn't imagine what it would be. I don't think I've ever met him before. I don't go anywhere other than work, Phoenix's preschool, or the grocery store. Mummy, can you find one of my baskets to take to the Easter egg hunt tomorrow? Phoenix asks, pulling me out of my thoughts. Yes, we'll look for one as soon as we're done eating. I took today off work so I could take her to see the Easter Bunny, and I'm off the weekend, so I'm glad that man told us about the Easter egg hunt tomorrow. I try to do as much with Phoenix as I can when I'm off. After dinner, we go outside to our small storage closet on the deck, and I find her basket from last year. I clean it, and we put it on the table to prepare for tomorrow. A few hours later, Phoenix is sound asleep beside me in the bed we share, but I can't go to sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see the man from the parking lot. Why is he stuck in my head? Maybe it's because our little conversation is the most I've talked to a man since Cole. My focus for the past 5 years has been my daughter. I haven't even let myself think about being with a man, and I'm not thinking about it now. I turn over and finally fall asleep a little while later. Mommy. I open my eyes, and Phoenix is kneeling beside me, smiling. Good morning, sweetheart. I pull her into my arms and cover us up with a blanket. What time do we need to leave for the Easter egg hunt? She asks. I look at my watch, and it's only 7. We'll leave at 9 so we can get there early to find your age group. I kiss her forehead before she jumps out of bed and runs to the closet. I need to wear a pretty dress, as she says as she opens our closet. I guess snuggling time is over. I get up and make our bed. I wouldn't have minded staying in bed a little longer, but once Phoenix is on the go, it's pointless. What dress do you want to wear? I ask her as I make a cup of coffee. She pulls out a pale pink dress that was too big for her when I bought it, but it should fit her now. How about this one? She asks. I think it's perfect. I make us pancakes for breakfast, and then Phoenix insists that we need to get ready to go. I pull part of her hair back with a pink bow in an attempt to control her curls. Her dress fits perfectly, and she puts on her white sandals. It's warm out today, but I take her white sweater in case she gets cool. How about we walk to the park? I ask her, hoping to kill some time because it's only 8:30. Yeah, let us walk, she says as she begins skipping in front of me with her basket. She looks so cute and carefree I can't help smiling as I watch her. It takes us about 20 minutes to get to the park, and they look like they're almost done setting up. Mommy, look at all the eggs, she says, pointing to an area roped off for kids aged 2 and under. Why, there are so many, I say as Phoenix giggles excitedly. I'm glad you made it. I spin around when I hear a familiar voice. It's the man from the shopping mall parking lot. You remember us? Phoenix asks him. He smiles and squats down in front of her. How could I forget 2 beautiful ladies like you and your mommy, he says, making her giggle. What is your name? She asks him. Nash, he replies. Phoenix looks up at me, and I nod. I have always told her to never talk to strangers or give them her name. So she always checks to make sure it's okay before she tells them. My name is Phoenix, she says. Why, that's a really cool name. What is your name? He asks, looking up at me. Braylon. I don't usually tell strangers my name either because it suggests an intimacy that I'm not comfortable with. Nash stands and holds his hand out to me. It's nice to meet you. How old are you, Phoenix? He asks after releasing my hand. I just turned 5, she says. Okay, then I'll show you where your section is for the Easter egg hunt. She walks beside him while I follow them. Do you like my basket? She asks Nash. I love your basket, and it's big too, so you should be able to fit lots of eggs in it. She giggles and starts skipping. Ever since she learned to skip, I think she skips more than she walks. This is where you'll get your eggs. They will blow a really loud horn, and that S when you can go under the rope and get as many eggs as you can until they are all gone. Then comes the fun part. You will open all of your eggs and look for ones that have a little paper with a number in them so you can go to the prize tent. He points to a large tent full of toys. Both mine and Phoenix's mouths fall open. There are bikes, babbies, and things I could never afford for her. Are those donated? I ask. Yes, he replies after hesitating. I look at him, and he smiles. By who? Why is he acting like he doesn't want to tell me? Some are from the volunteers. The rest are from me. I glance around and notice it's getting crowded with kids lining up around the rope as we're pushed closer together. You donated them? Why? I ask. There has to be a reason. No one is that generous. I want the kids to have things they like and not junk that will fall apart before they get them home. When my mom would bring me here as a kid, the prizes were cheap and flimsy. I shake my head and look at the prize tent again. That is so much. I'm sure the kids love them. We want to keep you. I'm sure you have something you need to do. I don't feel comfortable talking to him anymore. He obviously has a lot of money if he could spend thousands on toys, and I am broke. We definitely don't socialize in the same circles. Nope, the only thing I need to do is stand right here. Are you trying to get rid of me? Nash asks. I look at Phoenix, and she is smiling as she watches us. Mommy doesn't have boyfriends. Do you want to be her boyfriend? I can't believe she said that. I cover my red face with my hands. There is no way I can look at him. Can the ground just open up and swallow me now? Nash's POV. I don't know what to say as Phoenix waits for an answer, and Braylon looks like she would rather be anywhere other than here right now. She is hiding her face from me, but I can still see how red it is. It's almost time for the hunt to start. Are you ready? I ask Phoenix without answering her question. I can't say I don't want to be her mom's boyfriend, because I don't want to give Braylon the idea that I'm not interested in her. I also can't say I want to be her boyfriend, or she will run away, and I will never see them again. So distraction is the safest way to go, and luckily, it works. Yes, I'm ready. Phoenix turns around and holds on to the rope. I look at her mom, who is no longer hiding her face, but she still wants to look at me. I move closer to her so we're almost touching. So, you don't have any boyfriends, I whisper. No, as she clearly wants to leave it at that, but I can't. I want to see if she is interested in me as more than just the egg hunting guy. I almost jumped for joy when she tried to get rid of me after finding out I bought most of the prizes for the kids. I knew she would put it all together and realize I have money. Rather than falling all over me, she tried to tell me to get lost. How about a husband? I whisper. Not that it's any of your business, but no, I don't have one of those either. I assumed she didn't after what I read about Cole, but I had to ask. Okay, kids, get ready to get your eggs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The horn blares after the person on the loudspeaker counts down, and the kids run under the rope. Phoenix starts picking up eggs and putting them in her basket right away. She suddenly stops and looks at a little boy who is holding an empty basket. He hasn't moved from where he went under the rope. I watch in fascination as she runs over to him and says something that makes him smile. Phoenix then takes his hand, and they begin picking up eggs together. Wow, I've never met a kid like her. Most of them only care about getting as many as they can for themselves, I tell Braylon. She smiles and nods. She is always thinking about how she can help others. She is not selfish at all. I saw that yesterday, when Phoenix asked me to make her mummy happy instead of putting anything in her Easter basket. Is that your daughter? A man asks as he walks over to us. He seems to be asking both of us, and there is no way I am going to correct him because I see the way he is looking at Braylon. Yes, she replies, barely glancing at him. I'm Dawn, and that is my son she is helping. He holds his hand out to Braylon, and she shakes it quickly. She held onto my hand longer. Does that mean she likes me more? Oh, wait, we're not in high school. I hold out my hand to Dawn, and he shakes it reluctantly. We stand in silence for a few minutes while the kids make sure there are no more eggs. When Phoenix and the little boy come over to us, both of their baskets are full. Did you have fun? Braylon asks Phoenix. The little boy goes over to his dad, and that is when I notice he is wearing a wedding ring. Is he really trying to pick up a woman while out with his son when he is obviously married? Yes, there were so many eggs, a Phoenix says as she kneels on the grass and begins opening her eggs. Dawn looks at Braylon and me as if he is gauging our relationship. I move closer to her and stare him in the eyes, daring him to say something to her. It was nice meeting you. Come on, Danny. He takes his son's hand, and they walk away. Braylon seems to relax once they're gone. Jackass, she whispers. What did you call me? She turns around, smiling and shaking her head. No, not you. I was talking about the married man who was looking at me as if I were a piece of meat. I can't stand men like him. She glances at Phoenix, who is still opening her eggs. She has a few prize numbers so far. Well, that is a relief because I was trying to figure out what I had done to make you call me names. She laughs lightly. You have been very kind, and I appreciate that more than you know. Should I ask her now while we're having this feel-good moment? How would you and Phoenix like to join me for lunch? I whisper. Braylon looks at me and sighs. Why? She asks. I've had fun with you two this morning, and I don't want to say goodbye yet. I promise I have no other intention besides enjoying a meal together. She bites her lip and looks at Phoenix. Okay, I guess we can go, she replies. Go where? Phoenix asks as she stands with all of her prize numbers in her hand and the opened eggs in her basket. We're going to go to lunch with Nash when we leave here, Braylon says. Really? We never go to lunch anywhere, she says. How about we go to the prize tent and see what prizes you won, I say before she can say anything that may embarrass her mom or make Braylon change her mind. Yeah. She hands her basket to her mom and takes my hand. I look at Braylon to see if she is okay with this, and she looks stunned, but she nods. I take them over to the prize table, and Phoenix won a bike with one of her numbers. The other for she got to pick from different tables. She chooses a Barbie doll, 2 Lego sets, and a big bag of art supplies. Mommy, look at all of this stuff, a Phoenix says. Nash, I'm sorry, but we didn't bring my car to put her prizes in, so I'm afraid we're going to have to go home, a Braylon says. I have my truck so we can put everything in it, go to lunch, and then I can drop you off at home. She looks unsure at first. Can we go, Mommy, please? This has been the best day ever, a Phoenix begs. Okay, but only if you're sure it won't be a hassle, a Braylon says. We head toward the parking lot, and I feel like skipping with Phoenix. It's not a hassle at all. Braylon SPOV. Why did I agree to go to lunch with Nash? I should have insisted on going home so he could get on with his life in Phoenix and I could get on with ours. As we carry all of her prizes to his truck, I can't help laughing when he begins skipping beside her, even while holding the bike she won. The prizes she got from the Easter egg hunt were better than anything I could have afforded for her. This is my truck, he says when we reach a large, full-sized blue truck. Wow, it's so big, a phoenix says. Nash puts her bike in the back and everything else in the back seat. Phoenix reaches up for him to lift her into the truck, but he looks at me first, and I nod to let him know it's okay. I really like that he checks with me before touching her in any way, just like he did when she held his hand. I was shocked when she did that because she never holds anyone's hand other than mine. He lifts her into the back seat and helps her with the seatbelt. After shutting the door, Nash turns to me. Do you need help, too? He asks as he opens the passenger door for me. No, but can I ask you something? I ask before getting into the truck. You can ask me anything, he replies. Do you do this often? I ask softly. Eat lunch? Yes, I do it every day. I laugh and shake my head. No, that's not what I meant. Do you often treat random women and their kids out to lunch? You don't know anything about us. Why are you being so nice? It's hard for me to believe there are men who will be this kind without having other motives. No, I've never done this. I honestly don't even date that often. The time I've spent with you in Phoenix this morning has been some of the most fun I've had in a while. She's an amazing little girl, and you have done an incredible job with her. I try to fight back the tears filling my eyes, but they leak out. I quickly wipe them away. I try so hard to provide for Phoenix, but I'm always second-guessing myself if I'm doing enough or giving her everything she needs. To hear Nash say what he did means more to me than he will ever know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry, he says. Don't apologize. It's just that something you said made me feel like a good mom, and sometimes I don't feel like I am. Just forget it. I try to get into the truck, but he blocks me. I don't want to forget it. I was raised by a single mom who worked hard to provide for me. Trust me, I know it's not easy, but Phoenix is happy, healthy, and smart. What more could you ask for? He needs to stop talking like this, or I'm going to get comfortable with him. If that happens, Phoenix and I will be hurt when he decides he's done with whatever this is. Thank you. Are you still close to your mom? I ask, even though I'm telling myself I shouldn't. She died a few years ago from brain cancer. It was sudden, and it devastated me. She was all I had. Before I can say anything, there's a knock on the window in the backseat. Are we going to leave soon? It's getting hot in here, a Phoenix says. Nash smiles and moves so I can get into the truck. He holds his hand out to help me, and I hesitate but end up taking it. He doesn't shut the door right away as he looks at me. For the record, I've never talked about my mom to anyone. He shuts the door, and I'm left wondering what he meant about that. He gets into the truck and starts it. So where do you want to go for lunch? He asks, looking at Phoenix. I don't know, as she says, looking at me. We don't eat out very often, I tell him. We actually never eat out because it's cheaper for me to make something we can eat for a few days than pay for just one meal, not to mention drinks and tips. How about we go to Black Bear Diner? He asks. Do they have real bears there? Phoenix asks as Nash begins pulling out of the parking lot. No, but they do have wooden bears outside, and you can buy stuffed bears inside. The food is really good too. As he begins driving, I look out the window, thinking I made a huge mistake. Who goes to lunch with someone they just met? I'm putting both Phoenix's life and my life in danger. Who to say he's not some smooth-talking murderer who preys on single mothers and their children? Nash, do you live here too, like me and Mummy? Phoenix asks. I don't live too far from the park, he replies. Oh, great, he basically lives next door to us, only probably in one of the huge houses behind large gates. He would need all that privacy to murder his victims. Do you work? My mummy works at a place with old people. Is she going to tell him everything about us? I work from home, he says. Yep, I knew it. He works from home, carving up the bodies of the people he kills. I don't work, but I go to preschool, a Phoenix tells him. I glance at Nash and sigh. He doesn't seem like a killer, but who knows? I thought I knew Cole, but I didn't. So obviously, I'm not too good at identifying character flaws. Preschool sounds like fun. I bet you have lots of friends, he says as he pulls into the parking lot of Black Bear Diner. After Nash parks, he gets out, and I quickly get out before he tries to help me. I need to discourage any more touching between us. He stops me from opening Phoenix's door right away. Are you okay? He asks. Yeah, I'm fine. I smile, but from the way he looks at me, I know he doesn't believe me. No, you're not. What's wrong? Am I that easy to read? I feel like an idiot. What woman allows a stranger to take her and her daughter anywhere in his truck? We could end up dead somewhere, and no one would ever miss us. He puts his hand on my shoulder, and I stop rambling. I'm not a killer, a freak, or anything else that's been running through that head of yours. The only thing that's probably not normal about me is that I don't party with my friends, because I have acquaintances, not friends. I would rather spend my time volunteering to help those in need rather than wasting my time with people who only see $sign when they look at me. His hand is still on my shoulder, and I try to ignore how good it feels to be touched by someone. I don't see you as $sign, I whisper. Nash smiles and gently rubs my cheek with his thumb, making me shiver slightly. I know you don't. That's why I like you. He opens the back door and lifts Phoenix out of the truck. Mommy, look at the bears. Can you take my picture with them? She asks as she runs over to the two wooden bears near the entrance. I pull out my phone as she poses and take a couple of pictures. Can you take a picture with you and Nash with me? She asks. Why does she want that? I don't want to look back at the picture and think about how much we look like a family. I already couldn't get him out of my head last night, and we had only spoken for a few seconds. We go over and stand behind her, and I hold my phone out trying to get a good angle. Would you like me to take the picture for you? An older woman asks. Thank you, I reply, handing her my phone. Nash puts his arm around me as we smile. She takes a few pictures and gives my phone back to me. You have a beautiful family, the woman says as she continues into the restaurant. I can't speak, so I just smile. Thank you, and Nash says. Phoenix looks at me, smiling. Is Nash in our family now? She asks. How do I answer that? She didn't know that we had just met him, I reply, stumbling over my words. She shrugs, takes his hand, and mine, pulling us toward the door. Nash opens the door, but I can't look at him. I am not the type of person who gets embarrassed easily, but today I have been embarrassed more times than I can count. When we get inside, the hostess smiles. Would you like a kid's menu? She asks Phoenix. Sure, she replies. The woman picks up a kid's menu and a little box of crowns. Please follow me. We follow her to a booth, and she puts the menus in the middle of the table. Your server will be over to get your drink order in a few minutes. Phoenix climbs up into one of the booth seats, and I try to sit beside her, but she doesn't move. Mummy, can you and Nash sit over there so I can open my menu and color it? She opens a menu, and I open my mouth to argue with her, but Nash stops me. After you, he says. I slide into the boot seat until I'm against the wall. He sits beside me, and we are only a couple of inches apart. I pick up a menu, but I'm too aware of how close I am to Nash to read it. I'm Angela, and I'll be your server today. What can I get you to drink? A young woman with bright pink hair asks. Can I have chocolate milk? Phoenix asks me. Yes. I'll have iced tea, I say. I'll have iced tea as well. Thanks, and Nash says. What do you want to eat? I ask Phoenix. She stops coloring and turns her menu over. I'll have this, as she says, pointing at the chicken strips and fries. She's easy to please, and Nash says. Yeah, I reply without looking at him as I study the lunch section and decide on the turkey club with fries. A few minutes later, Angela returns with our drinks and takes our order. So what did Phoenix mean when she said you work with old people? Nash asks. I'm a receptionist at an assisted living facility. Nash puts his arm on the back of the booth, and my face gets hot. He's not even touching me. Yet I feel like he is. Do I make you nervous? He whispers. How do I answer that? I'm not used to making small talk with anyone outside of work. I don't have any family or friends, so it's just Phoenix and me. I'm worried I'm going to do or say the wrong thing to give you the wrong impression. Why does it feel like a sauna in here? I take a sip of my iced tea, but it doesn't help. I told you my mom died, and I don't have any other family. What impression are you afraid you're going to give me? Are you afraid I'm going to think you like me? He moves over slightly so we're touching, but I can't look at him. Why is he doing this? Mummy, why does your face look like a tomato? Phoenix asks. I'm hot, I say. She nods and goes back to coloring. Do I make you feel hot? Nash whispers. I jump slightly when I feel his fingers on my neck. Phoenix said I look like a tomato, and if Nash doesn't stop touching me, I'm going to be tomato soup. I need to put a stop to this now. I turn to look at him, and his face is so close to mine it makes whatever I was going to say leave my head. I close my eyes and shake my head. I can't do this. I can't let him hurt Phoenix and me. Nash, Nash's POV. I know I should stop teasing Braylon, but I can't help it. I like seeing how red she can get when Phoenix or I say something that embarrasses her. The two of them are such a breath of fresh air. Nash, I really shouldn't be sitting with you like this. People may get the wrong idea, as she says. What people? Are you worried someone you know may see us? You didn't answer my questions. Are you afraid I'll think you like me? And do I make you hot? She puts her face in her hands and shakes her head. Just when I think she's about ready to tell me to take them home, she surprises me. I don't care if anyone I know sees us. Yes, I'm afraid you'll think I like you because I can't like you. Yes, you are making me hot because you keep saying things that embarrass me. She still doesn't look at me, and I glance at Phoenix, who seems to be in her own little world as she hums and colors. I lean down to whisper in Braylon's ear. I was hoping I made you hot in other ways. What do you mean you can't like me? Am I really so hideous that I don't meet your standards? She spins her head around to look at me, and our faces are less than an inch apart. I feel her warm breath on my lips, and it's making me want to kiss her. She looks into my eyes and swallows a few times before answering me. You are not hideous. I just can't be with anyone because someone always gets hurt. I can't let Phoenix get hurt. She glances at her daughter, but I keep looking at her. I would love to get my hands on Cole and strangle him for what he did to them. I can't tell her I know about him, or she'll really think I'm a freak. I run my fingers over her neck again while I think of what to say. She shivers slightly, and her eyes almost close. Do you think I'm the type of man to hurt women and children? She sighs and looks at her hands while I continue rubbing my fingers lightly over the back of her neck. You wouldn't do it intentionally. At least I don't think so. I'm going to give you a hypothetical. Say I meet a man who both my daughter and I like. We begin dating, we start feeling like a family, and bam, just like that, he's part of our lives. Then, if the man decides he doesn't want us, we would be heartbroken. So it's better not to get involved with anyone. She sounds like she's convinced herself, but she hasn't convinced me. Let me give you a different hypothetical. You meet a man who likes both you and your daughter. He takes you to lunch and feels, for the first time in a long time, that he can relax and have fun. He lets the two of you into his life and decides he wants to keep you and be part of your family. He falls in love with you and promises to never hurt you or Phoenix, no matter what. She freezes, and I'm almost sure she has stopped breathing until Angela comes over with our food, and Braylon smiles at her. I'll be around if you need anything, Angela says before walking away. You can't say things like that. You haven't known us for more than a few hours. She begins eating her fries, and I move my arm from the back of the booth to rest across her shoulders. The fry in her hand drops onto her plate as she turns to look at me. How do you know what hypothetical is going to happen if you don't give yourself a chance to feel anything? I ask. She searches my eyes as if she is trying to look into my soul. Mummy, can you help me with the ketchup? Phoenix asks, breaking the spell between us. Braylon turns and puts some ketchup on Phoenix's plate and then some on her own. I take a bite of my turkey melt, but keep my arm around her. As long as she doesn't shove me off, I'm going to sit like this. When our food is about halfway gone, Braylon turns to me. Say we go with your hypothetical. What do you see happening when we leave here? She asks. I take a sip of my tea while thinking of the right response. I drive you to your house, help you carry all of Phoenix's things inside, and then you ask me to stay for a while. She looks thoughtful as she chews on a fry, and I can't take my eyes off her lips. I have never wanted to kiss someone so much in my life. We live in a tiny studio apartment. If I asked you to stay, there's not much we could do other than watch TV. At least I'm getting somewhere. She is considering letting me stay. We could talk, I reply. I look at Phoenix and notice she is watching us with her eyes as big as saucers. Is Nash coming home with us? She asks excitedly. I wonder what I can do to make her mom as excited about me as she is. Maybe, Braylon says. Can we build one of my new Lego sets, or use the art supplies, or can you show me how to ride my bike? Phoenix is smiling at me with her little blue eyes shining. Yes, I reply. She claps her hands and begins eating again. You know she'll probably fall asleep on the way home, so you can just drop us off, Braylon says. Are you afraid to spend time alone with me while she is sleeping? I smile when her face starts getting red again. No, I'm just saying you don't have to feel obligated to hang around until she wakes up so you can play with her. She is really trying to pretend that I only want to go to their apartment to play with Phoenix, isn't she? Braylon? She looks at me, and I smile. What? I rub my fingers across her neck, making her shiver again while I look into her eyes. I think we can find something to do while she sleeps, don't you? I rub my fingers against her neck again, and her face gets so red I swear she's going to burst into flames soon. What? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I left her speechless. I'm all done. Are you guys done? Phoenix asks. Yes, we answer simultaneously. I wave Angela over and give her my credit card for the bill. When she returns, I stand and hold my hand out to Braylon. She hesitates, but takes it so I can pull her to her feet. I take Phoenix's hand with my other one and head to the door. Braylon tries to slyly remove her hand from mine, but I link my fingers with hers so she can't. When we reach the truck, I lift Phoenix into the back and buckle her in. She looks like she's already half asleep. She'll probably sleep for a couple of hours when we get home, Braylon says as she reaches for the passenger door. I take her hand, turn her around, and push her against the truck. What are you doing? She asks. I'm doing something I've wanted to do all day. I press my lips against hers and watch her eyes widen in surprise. I expect her to push me away, but she doesn't, so I begin moving my mouth. I tilt my head to the side to deepen the kiss when she starts moving her mouth. She lets out a soft moan and I push my body against hers when she puts her arms around my neck. I don't want to stop, but we need air. I suck on her bottom lip slightly before pulling away. Why did you do that? She asks. I'm not ready to talk, so I kiss her again, and this time, when she opens her mouth, I slide my tongue inside. When she moves her tongue against mine, it takes everything inside of me not to slide my hands under her shirt to feel her soft skin. I'm sure she would slap me if I did that. When I pull away this time, I see uncertainty in her eyes. To answer your question, I couldn't go another minute without feeling your soft lips against mine or tasting your sweet mouth. Don't tell me you didn't like it, because I felt you kissing me back. Her face gets flushed again, and she bites her swollen lip. I shouldn't have liked it, but it's been a long time since I've been kissed and I have never been kissed like that, as she replies softly. She still has her arms around my neck, and I'm not about to move them. Like what? I want her to tell me what she likes and doesn't like. I want to know everything about her. I've never lost my senses like that. I was feeling things that had been dormant for a long time, and it's way too soon for those things to be woken up like that. I just met you. Is she trying to convince herself or me? What were you feeling? I ask before putting my lips against hers again and kissing her softer than the first 2 times. I slide my hands down to her waist, and I can feel just a little of her skin because her shirt is raised. I pull away, but leave my forehead against hers. I'm feeling like I want to feel more. I want to feel your hands on me because it's been a long time since anyone has touched me like that. I can tell how hard it is for her to admit this to me. I want that too, but we'd better not do it here, or it might cause a bit of a spectacle. She begins laughing, and I kiss her once more before opening the passenger door. I help her into the truck, but don't shut the door. Braylon, I don't want you to ever be scared to tell me how you're feeling or what you want. She smiles and nods. Okay, I'll try, but it's not easy. I've been alone for so long it's hard to let someone in. I gently stroke her cheek. I understand, and I'll be patient. Just don't push me away before we see where this goes, I say. I want tea. That's all I need to hear. As long as she's willing to give us a try, I will go as slow as she needs me to. I walk around to the driver's side, and I can't help thinking of my mom as I pull out onto the street. She would have loved Braylon and Phoenix. I reach over and take Braylon's hand, and she doesn't pull away. I follow her directions to their apartment while thinking about the future. Call me crazy, but before today, I never really thought about the future. Now, when I do, I see Braylon and Phoenix in it, and that makes me happier than I ever thought possible. Braylon's POV. I keep replaying Nash's kisses in my head. Other than Cole, the only other person I ever kissed was Grant, my high school boyfriend. Neither of them kissed me the way Nash did. He made me feel lightheaded and weak in the knees. I always thought that only happened in books, not real life. Now, as we pull up in front of my apartment and he holds my hand, my mind races. Am I a fool to think there could be something between us? He asked me to give him a chance, but is that really the smart thing to do? I get out of the truck, and Nash opens the back door. Phoenix doesn't open her eyes as he lifts her. I get her prizes and her Easter basket from the back seat. The bike should be okay in the back of the truck. I use the key to open the apartment building's front door and hold it open for Nash. I lead him up to the second floor and open the door to our apartment. He walks in and lies Phoenix on the bed. I remove her shoes and cover her with a blanket as she rolls onto her side. I'll get her bike and be right back up, and Nash whispers. I kick off my shoes and sigh as I look around. I don't have anything to offer him to drink besides milk or water. Nash comes back 2 minutes later. How did you get in the front door? I ask. I propped it open with a rock. He puts her bike against the wall, and I begin fidgeting. I don't know what to do now that we're here. Nash removes his shoes, takes my hand, and pulls me over to the love seat. It's out the only place to sit other than the kitchen table. I told you about my mom. My dad died from a stroke when I was a baby, so I never knew him, and I don't have any siblings. What about you? I can do this. I can talk to him. My birth parents died in a car accident when I was 2. I was in the car but survived. They couldn't find any family members except my mom's elderly aunt, Brenda, who lived in Kelseyville. That's in Lake County, otherwise known as the middle of nowhere. I was sent there to live with her. She was okay, but really too old to know what to do with me, so I took care of her more than she did me. She died when I was 17, but it was only a few weeks before my 18th birthday, so I stayed at her house and finished high school. I had planned to go to college, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I got a job at a grocery store. Aunt Brenda's house was paid off, so I kept staying there and saved whatever money I didn't spend on bills. I stopped talking because I don't know if I want to tell him about Cole. How did you end up in Elk Grove? He asks. I guess I should tell him everything. Not long after I started working at the grocery store, I met Phoenix's dad, Cole. He was handsome and flirted with me every time he came in. I was young and easily impressionable. He asked me out, and I said yes. I should have known something was off because he only ever wanted to get food to take to my place. We never went to restaurants, saw each other in public, or went to his house. About 6 months after we started seeing each other, I found out I was pregnant. We used condoms, but one didn't work. I was shocked but excited. When I told Cole, he became so mad and accused me of trying to trap him into a relationship. He demanded that I get an abortion because he was engaged to marry someone else, and he didn't want her or her family to find out about me. I told him I would raise our child alone and wouldn't ask him for anything. I thought that was the end of it because I didn't hear anything else from him. I quit working at the store and got a job as a receptionist at a skilled nursing facility. I was getting settled and preparing for my baby. When I was 9 months pregnant, Cole ran me off the road and down the side of a cliff. I was able to get out of the car, but then I passed out. Some hikers found me and called the paramedics. They had to deliver her right there at the base of the cliff. I was injured, but she was perfect. That's why I named her Phoenix. She was like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I still have nightmares of that day because I was so scared I was going to lose her. I didn't want to live there anymore, so as soon as I found a job, I moved to Elk Grove. We've been in this apartment since she was a baby. Cole is in Folsom Prison for attempted murder and is eligible for parole in 10 years. I wiped my tears that I hadn't realized were falling. I have never told anyone about any of this, and getting it out feels like a huge relief. Nash moves closer and wraps his arms around me. I hug him back as I cry against his chest. I'm sorry. I've never talked about this before. He doesn't let me go but hugs me tighter and rubs his hands over my back. Don't apologize. You needed to talk about it. This must be what makes you cry at night, he whispers. How did he know that? What? I ask, pulling away to look in his eyes. I need to tell you something, but you can't tell Phoenix, he says while gently stroking my cheek. Why does that feel so good? Tell me what. Did I make a mistake letting him come here? I'm the Easter Bunny, he whispers. Yeah, I made a mistake. He's delusional. I try to move away from him, but he doesn't let me. What do you mean you're the Easter Bunny? I ask, glancing at Phoenix to make sure she's still sleeping. I was the Easter Bunny at the mall yesterday. I start laughing and relax. I thought you were trying to tell me you were the real Easter Bunny, and I was going to have them take you away in a straitjacket. So were you following us yesterday? He smiles and nods. Yeah, I was trying to think of a reason to talk to you. I saw you when you were in the line with Phoenix, and then when she told me what she wanted for Easter, I wanted to make it happen. I'm so confused. So you wanted to tell me what she asked for? You could have done that without taking us to lunch, kissing me, and all of this. I feel so mixed up inside. I don't know what to do. Braylon, she said she doesn't want an Easter basket or anything. She asked me to make you happy. She said you cry at night when you're sleeping, and she doesn't want you to be sad anymore. I look at my sleeping daughter and shake my head. My sweet little girl asked the Easter Bunny to make me happy. She doesn't realize how happy she makes me every minute of every day. So all of this was only because she asked you to make me happy? I ask Nash while looking at Phoenix. I was attracted to you before she even came to talk to me. When she told me she wanted me to make you happy, I was thinking of all the ways I wanted to make you happy, and that was before I even knew you. I don't want you to think I'm only here because of what she asked. Everything I have said or done is because I like both of you, and I'm so scared you're going to tell me to get lost. I have never felt like this for anyone. I look into his eyes and try to fight the feelings inside of me from taking over. I can't fall too fast because this time it will hurt even more than the last. I don't say anything as the turmoil inside of me churns. Nash takes my hands, and I can't deny how good it feels when he touches me. I'm really sorry for what happened between you and Cole, but I'm not him. I would never hurt you or Phoenix. Will you give me a chance to make Phoenix's Easter wish come true? Damn him, why does he have to know exactly what to say? Do you promise to tell me the minute you start changing your mind? I don't want you to feel trapped, obligated, or anything else. Before I can continue, Nash puts his mouth against mine, and everything I wanted to say disappears. How can kissing him feel different every time? I promise, but I need a promise from you too, he says against my lips. What? I ask breathlessly. I want you to tell me if I do or say anything you don't like. I want you to be honest with me and tell me how you feel about everything. Most importantly, I don't want you to tell Phoenix that I was the Easter Bunny. I laugh at the last one and nod. I promise. He smiles and kisses me again. When I feel his hand on my bare skin between my jeans and shirt, I want him to touch me so much more, but Phoenix could wake up at any time. Do you have to work tomorrow? He asks. No, I go back Monday, I reply. How do you feel about going out for breakfast and then playing miniature golf? He looks so hopeful. I can't help smiling. Miniature golf? I don't think I've ever played that, I say. Then let us do it. Phoenix will love it. Afterward, would you like to go to my house? He asks. You don't have to spend every minute with us. We're not going anywhere. Nash smiles and runs his fingers through my hair. I want to spend every minute I can with both of you. I have been waiting so long to find someone I could be myself with and have fun. I know you have to work during the week, and Phoenix has preschool, so I want to make the most of every minute I can spend with the two of you. He kisses me, and I feel like I'm melting as his lips move and his tongue plays with mine. Mummy, why are you kissing Nash? I jump off the couch and look at the bed where Phoenix is sitting up, rubbing her eyes. My face feels like it's on fire as I look from her to Nash. Why do I feel like a teenager who was just caught with her boyfriend in her bedroom? What should I say? Nash's POV. I stand and wrap my arm around Braylon's shoulders as Phoenix looks at us, waiting for an answer. What is appropriate to say to her? I don't want to tell her that we're kissing because we like each other. The last thing I want is for her to think it's okay to kiss anyone she likes. Are you my mummy's boyfriend? She asks as she gets out of bed. I look at Braylon, and her face is bright red. Yes, I am. Is that okay? Phoenix nods, runs into the bathroom, and shuts the door. What kind of example am I setting for her by kissing a man I just met? Braylon asks, covering her face with her hands. I turn her to face me and take her hands in mine. You're teaching her that she should follow her heart. She smiles and shakes her head. How do you always know exactly what to say? I kiss her briefly and smile. I always say what I feel. I don't play games or hide my emotions. She wraps her arms around me and lays her head against my chest. Don't ever stop doing that, as she whispers. We turn around when Phoenix runs into the room. Can we build one of my Lego sets? She asks. Braylon gets a blanket and lays it on the floor, and we sit down. Phoenix opens one of her Lego sets and dumps it onto the blanket. As we're building, I can't stop smiling. Today really has been one of the best days of my life. After we have built both of the Lego sets, I look at my watch and see it's almost 5. How would you ladies like pizza for dinner? I ask. You don't have to keep treating us, Braylon says. I want to. I'll call and order. What do you like on your pizza? I ask as I pull my phone out of my pocket. Pepperoni and cheese, Phoenix says. What about you? I ask Braylon. I'm not picky, I just don't like mushrooms, as she says. I go onto the app for my favorite pizza place and order 2 large pizzas, chocolate milk, iced tea, and 3 pieces of chocolate cake. Nash, are you having a sleepover with us? Phoenix asks. He can't, honey, because we only have one bed, Braylon says quickly. That may be true, but I have a house with a few bedrooms, and I see a sleepover happening very soon. Are we going to see you again if you leave? Phoenix asks. I'm going to pick you and your mummy up tomorrow morning and take you to breakfast. After breakfast, I have somewhere fun I want to take you. How does that sound? She comes over and sits on my lap with her bag of art supplies. That sounds good. Will you draw with me? She removes a pad of drawing paper and a set of colored pencils from the bag. She gives Braylon a piece of paper while she and I share. You draw the sky, a phoenix tells me. I draw a sun and a blue sky with a few white clouds, and she draws 3 stick people. Who is that? I ask. Me, you, and Mommy at the park, as she says. She draws different colored dots on the ground that I believe are supposed to be Easter eggs. Just as we're finishing up, their essay buzzing noise. Braylon stands and pushes a button next to the door. Who is it? She says. Pizza delivery, a man replies. She pushes another button and then opens the door. Why don't you go wash your hands? I tell Phoenix. She nods and runs to the bathroom while I go over to stand with Braylon at the door. When the deliveryman sees her, his smile widens and then vanishes when he sees me. That's right, she's already taken. Thank you, she says as he hands her the food and bag of drinks. I shut and lock the door as she carries the food to the kitchen table. This is way too much, she says. I figured it would be nice to have leftovers. Braylon smiles as she washes her hands in the kitchen sink. You're spoiling us. I stand behind her and reach around her to wash my hands while keeping her trapped in front of me. It's nice to have someone to spoil. She laughs as I kiss her neck while rinsing my hands. Can you guys have kissy time later? I'm hungry, a phoenix says. I turn around, and she's sitting at the table. You heard her, she said we could have kissy time later, I whisper to Braylon before I let her free. Her face gets red as she dries her hands and gets plates out of the cupboard. I sit beside her as she gets Phoenix a piece of pepperoni pizza. I get 2 slices of the one that has everything except mushrooms. Braylon gets 1 of each. I open the bottle of chocolate milk and give it to Phoenix. I then get an iced tea for Braylon and myself. You thought of everything, Braylon says as I set the chocolate cake on the table. My mom always said no matter what you have for dinner, you should always leave room for dessert, I reply as I take a bite of my pizza. We eat in silence for a few minutes. Are we going to see you every day? Phoenix asks. Maybe. Would that be okay? I ask her. She smiles as she wipes her mouth with a napkin. Yes, you're nice. She finishes her pizza, puts her plate in the kitchen, then runs back to her art supplies. She thinks I'm nice, I whisper to Braylon, who smiles as she pushes her empty plate to the side. She's 5, so we can't blame her for who she thinks is nice. She starts laughing as she stands. Oh, she thinks that's funny, does she? I stand and pick up the 2 pizza boxes. After putting them in the refrigerator, I turn to look at Phoenix, who is drawing and humming to herself. Braylon is washing our plates and putting them in the dishwasher. When she stands, I move behind her and wrap my arms around her tightly. Do you think I'm nice? I ask as she squirms to get away. I tighten my hold on her, and she begins laughing. You're not playing fair, she says. I'm 27, so I can't be blamed for my actions, I say as I move her hair to the side and kiss the back of her neck. She stops moving as I kiss the same area again and move to the side of her neck. She tilts her head back and moans as I continue. You didn't answer me. Do you think I'm nice? I kiss along her neck again and suck slightly, but not hard enough to leave a mark. I can't think straight when you're doing that, as she replies breathlessly. Do you want me to stop? I ask as I move her hair so I can get to the other side of her neck. No, yes, she says. I laugh as she moans softly. No, I don't want you to. But yes, I do because we're not alone. This apartment doesn't allow for much privacy. She turns to look up at me, and I smile. So if we had privacy, what would you want me to do? Her face gets bright red as she shakes her head. Nothing, because we just met. I can't think that way about you yet. She turns back around and finishes loading the dishwasher. I check to make sure Phoenix is still busy. You can't think about me in what way? I ask. She closes the dishwasher and puts her back against the counter with her arms crossed. She looks at her daughter and bites her lip. You are in my head, so I'm not thinking rationally. I dreamt about you last night, even before I knew your name or anything about you. I know we've spent the day together, but Phoenix and I have been alone for more than 5 years. I shouldn't fall for the first man who was nice to us. I place my hands on her face and force her to look at me. I'm sure other men have been nice to you. Did you fall for any of them? Braylon sighs and shakes her head. No, I ran the other way as fast as I could, as she replies. So I'm the exception then. Doesn't that tell you that there is something between us that is stronger than just being nice? I ask. I guess, but it's just not the right thing to do. I kiss her before she can say anything else. Who says it's not the right thing to do? We are still getting to know each other. So what if we spent all day today together, and we're going to spend all day tomorrow together? Who cares that I'm already thinking of ways to see you during the week? We only have to answer to ourselves, right? She sighs and nods. You're right, but I have to think of Phoenix, too. She is already getting attached to you, and if you're suddenly gone, it would crush her. I look over at the little girl who is happily drawing and smile. Then you better not get rid of me because we wouldn't want to crush her. Braylon laughs and puts her arm around my waist. Okay, fine, I'll stop stressing out over this, as she says. Can we have cake now? Phoenix asks when she notices us watching her. Sure, her mom says. She cuts one of the pieces in half and gives Phoenix one of the halves. I'll save the other half for tomorrow, Braylon says. She gives Phoenix a small cup of milk. Do you want some milk too? She asks as I open my cake. Yes, please, I reply. She pours us each a cup of milk, and we eat our dessert. Can we watch a movie? Phoenix asks. We can watch a short movie, and then it's bath and bedtime, Braylon says. I throw our trash away and help Phoenix clean up the art supplies off the floor. When we're done, we sit on the love seat, and Phoenix sits on my lap. She picks the movie Sing. When the characters are singing, Phoenix gets up to join them in singing and dancing. I notice she likes to hum and sing, I whisper to Braylon. Yeah, I think she started humming before she started talking, as she replies. I'm beginning to get an idea of what I want to get her for Easter, but I need to talk to her mom about it first. After the movie is over, Braylon helps Phoenix take a bath and gets her ready for bed. The right thing to do would be to leave, but I'm not ready to go yet. When they come out of the bathroom, Phoenix runs over to me, wearing her little green pajamas. Will you be here when I wake up? She asks as she climbs onto my lap. What time do you get up? I ask. Mommy, what time do I wake up? We both look at Braylon. Usually around 6, she says. Okay, then I know what time to be here in the morning, I say. Phoenix kisses my cheek and jumps off my lap. See you in the morning, Nash, she says as she climbs onto the bed. Braylon sits on the side of the bed to read Phoenix a story, and I'm shocked when she is asleep within a few minutes. I don't think I ever fell asleep that quickly when I was her age, I whisper when Braylon sits beside me. She has always been a good sleeper. I look at my watch, and it's a little after 8. What time do you go to bed? I ask. Whenever I feel like it. What about you? She begins fidgeting. Same. Do you want me to leave? I ask as I play with her hair. No, not yet. I lean over to kiss her, but she stops me. Before we do any more of that, we need to talk, she says. Okay, about what? I'll talk about whatever she wants as long as I get to kiss her afterward. Is this what they mean by being whipped? If so, let me be whipped. Braylon's POV. I'm getting more comfortable with Nash around, maybe too quickly, but I promise not to overthink it. You know a lot about me, and you told me about your family, but what kind of work do you do? I ask. When I tell you, just promise me you won't think less of me, and Nash says. Okay, I promise, I reply. I went to college for business, but still didn't know what I wanted to do when I finished. When my mom passed, she left me a little money. It would have been enough for me to put a nice down payment on a house or put it into a savings account, but instead, I invested all of it in the stock market, and the money tripled. So I sold my shares and then reinvested in other stocks. It didn't take long for me to have over $1 million. Now, I have a little over 50 million in the bank and money invested in stocks that keep growing. So basically, I don't do anything other than check on my stocks occasionally. You think I'm a bum now, don't you? I laugh lightly and shake my head. No, I wouldn't say that. You found WH9 at you're good at, and now you're set for life. That sounds like a dream, not a bum. It's really incredible what you were able to accomplish in such a short time. I'm 25 and still don't know what I want to do. I have been thinking a lot about how hard it was when I was pregnant with Phoenix and how I had no resources or anything. I think one day I would like to open a place that's like a temporary shelter for young women who are pregnant or have recently had a child, but have no one to help them. Being a mom doesn't come naturally to everyone. There are so many women out there who have no idea what to do when they have a child or even basic life skills because of the way they were brought up. I realize I'm rambling, so I shake my head and smile. Sorry, I get carried away sometimes, I tell him. I think that sounds like a fantastic idea. I've seen women like that when I volunteer at the shelters. They seem stuck and not sure how to make things better for them and their kids. I nod and lean back on the love seat. I figured things out on my own, but it wasn't easy. I could work 2 jobs to make more money, but that would take time away from Phoenix. What good is extra money if I never get to see her, not to mention having to pay someone to watch her? We may not have much, but I can pay our bills and put food on the table. That's more than what some people have. I have to admit that having him here to talk to has been really nice. I don't ever talk about my personal life to anyone. You have done a great job, and I agree that being there for Phoenix is what she needs. Speaking of her, I have something I want to give her for Easter. I look around at everything she got today, just from the Easter egg hunt, and shake my head. You have already done too much, I say. It's not something I have to buy because I already have it. I can't imagine what he would already have for her. What? I'm intrigued now. When I was about her age, I started taking piano lessons. I have a piano at home that I want to give to her and teach her to play. It's the piano my mom got for me. It's upright, so it will fit against the wall. I thought that with how much she loves music, she may like to learn to play. I stare at him for a minute without speaking. I don't know what to say. He smiles and takes my hand. Just say yes. It will give me something to do and a reason to see you both every day, he says. Okay, yes. He leans forward to kiss me, and this time I let him. I knew once he started kissing me, anything I had planned to talk about would fly out of my head. I don't know whether I climbed onto his lap or he pulled me onto him, but now I'm straddling him. I slide my hands into his hair, and he puts his hands on my sides slightly under my shirt. The feel of his warm hands makes me yearn for something I haven't had in a very long time. I pull away and put my forehead against his, but don't move from his lap. I know it's crazy, but if I had another room for us to go into, I would tell you to touch me more than you are now. I haven't been with anyone other than Cole. I was 19 then, and he was only using me for one thing. I know when we're together, it will be different. Nash kisses me and slides his hands further under my shirt so they are stroking my sides and back. So you're already thinking about our first time making love. When do you see that happening? He asks. It's too hard to do it here, I reply, not giving him a real answer. I have a house with several rooms. I want to take you and Phoenix there tomorrow after we play miniature golf. I want to say let us do it tomorrow so badly that the words burn on my tongue, but I'm scared. I don't know. Are we moving too fast? Kissing is one thing. Sex may not mean a lot to you, but it does to me. He kisses me again before I can say anything else. When he sucks my bottom lip lightly, my eyes roll back in my head. Why is that such a turn on? I have only had sex with 2 women. I've been on dates, but most of them, I could see what they were after right from the beginning. The first time I was a freshman in college at a party, I drank alcohol for the first time, causing me to be a little woozy. There was an older girl there who had been flirting with me all night. I don't even know her name, but I know she was from a different school. We had sex in one of the bedrooms, and a little later, I saw her going into another bedroom with another man. The other time was a couple of years ago when I was still building my wealth. I met a woman who I thought was the real deal, but she was nothing more than a gold digger. After we were together for about 2 weeks, her true colors came out when she gave me a list of everything I needed to provide for her. I broke up with her that day. I stare at him in disbelief. Both of those women sound horrible. Let us see how tomorrow morning goes. If we end up at your place, then maybe we can do something while Phoenix is taking a nap. I can't believe I'm agreeing to this when I said I wouldn't fall for the first man who showed me a little attention, as I did with Cole. To be honest, other men have tried to talk to me, but I always shut them down right away. Well, that gives me a lot to look forward to. I'll pick up some condoms on the way home tonight, just in case. I laugh as he rubs his hands over my back again. I am on the birth control shot now. I started getting it as soon as I was done breastfeeding Phoenix. I never wanted to be caught off guard, in case I ever met anyone. I look at the clock in the kitchen, and it's almost 11. If you're really planning on being back here at 6, you'd better go so you can get some sleep, I say. Nash smiles, slides his hands to my bottom, and pulls me further down his lap. I gasp when I feel his erection pressing against me. I'll be looking forward to tomorrow, but there's no pressure. If you change your mind, we don't have to do anything. I'm a patient man, and I'm not going anywhere. Once again, he says the perfect thing that makes me fall for him a little more. I never felt like this with Cole. Well then, you'd better get home so tomorrow can come a little faster. I kiss him and then get off his lap. He stands and pulls me into his arms. I wrap my arms around him and close my eyes while soaking in his warm embrace. Will you be up by 6? Nash asks. Phoenix will have me up at 6. This morning she let me sleep until 7, but that's because we went to bed a little later last night. I walk him to the door, and he puts on his shoes. I'm dreading going to sleep tonight, especially now that I know what Phoenix asked him for. I never knew I cried in my sleep when I had the nightmares of our accident. I haven't left yet, and I already miss you, he says before kissing me. I imagine sleeping in his arms. I bet I wouldn't have any more nightmares of Cole if Nash held me all night. I'll miss you too. You really made today special for Phoenix and me. Even if he decided after he leaves that he never wants to come back, I will be forever grateful for this one day. What's your phone number? He asks. What? He laughs and kisses my forehead. I've kissed you, spent time in your apartment, and I don't even know your phone number, he says. I laugh as he pulls out his phone, and I give him my number. I will be back bright and early. He kisses me and opens the door. We'll be waiting. Bye, Nash. He starts walking out, then turns around to kiss me again. Bye, Braylon. I watch him walk down the stairs, and he waves before going out the front door. I run over to the window after shutting and locking the door so I can see him get into his truck. He looks up and waves when he sees me. I can't control the butterflies I feel inside when our eyes meet. After he drives away, I go to the bathroom and get in the shower. I take my time while I think about the day we had. Phoenix is already crazy about Nash. They say kids have good instincts with people, and I have never seen her take to anyone so quickly. When I finally get out, I blow dry my hair, put on my shorts and t-shirt, and get into bed. I'm staring at the ceiling when my phone dings, making me jump. I reach over and pick it up off the small nightstand and smile when I see a text from Nash. I thought you should have my number too. I came home, showered, and now I'm lying in bed, but I can't go to sleep because I'm thinking about all the fun I had with you and Phoenix today. I took a shower and just got to bed myself. We had fun too, and we're looking forward to tomorrow. Can I ask you something? I push send and wait. You can ask me anything. He texts back. After tomorrow, we will all get back to the real world of work and school. Does that mean we'll see you again next weekend? Why am I even asking this? We have only been together for one day, and already I'm thinking how much I'm going to miss him during the week. I'm sorry, but that's not going to be enough for me. What are your work hours? And what are Phoenix's school hours? I smile as I read his reply. I want to stop myself from falling too fast and hard, but I can't help it. I work from 734. I drop Phoenix off at 715 and pick her up at 415. I look at the time on my phone, and it's after midnight. If I want to be your chauffeur, I need to know your schedule. You'd better get some sleep because I don't want you napping with Phoenix tomorrow. Even if you don't want anything more than kissing, I plan to have kissy time the whole time she is sleeping. I cover my mouth so my laughter won't wake my daughter up. Good night, Nash. I add a kiss emoji and hit send. He sends a GIF of a bear kissing another bear all over the face. The kiss emoji looks like a woman's lips, so I didn't feel right sending it because I don't have lips like a woman. Good night, Braylon. I laugh softly as I lay my phone back on the nightstand. I turn over and put my arm around Phoenix. Snuggling with her always makes me happy. I kiss her soft curls and smile. Maybe letting someone else into our little bubble won't be so bad. Nash's POV. I smile as I read Braylon's texts again before laying my phone down. I miss her and Phoenix. I didn't realize just how lonely I was until I spent the day with them. I would have happily slept on the love seat in their apartment, but I don't want Braylon to think I'm trying to pressure her into anything too fast. I always told myself I would take my time and not rush into anything, but she's different. I can feel inside that she's the one I'm meant to be with. I never believed in soulmates, but I'm beginning to. My mom never dated anyone after my dad died. She said he was the only man for her. I didn't understand it at the time, but I'm starting to now. I finally fall asleep, but I'm up by 5. I take another shower and walk through my house to make sure it's clean. It's not a mansion or anything, but it's big. It has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, a living room, a family room, an office, and a huge backyard with a pool. I've never had anyone come over. With any woman I went out with, I didn't let them come to my home, or even tell them I live in Elk Grove. Once I'm done, I get dressed, and it's 5:45. That's close enough to 6. I get in my truck and drive the 10-minute drive to their apartment. The spot in front of the building where I was parked yesterday is free, so I pull into it and watch the clock. At 6, I look up at their window and pull my phone out. Good morning. Are you awake? If they're still sleeping, I don't want to wake them. I'll sit here until they're up. Good morning. Yes, we're awake. Are you on your way? I smile as I get out of the truck. I'm already here. I look up at the window again and see Phoenix and Braylon waving at me. My heart skips a beat as I wave back. I go to the door, and it buzzes, so I can open it. I run upstairs, and the door opens when I reach it. Phoenix reaches for me to pick her up, and she kisses my cheek. You really came when I woke up, she says. I smile at Braylon. She's wearing shorts and a t-shirt that I assume she slept in, but she looks beautiful. Yes, I did. I walk inside, and after putting Phoenix down, I pull Braylon into my arms and kiss her. It's only been a few hours since I left, but it feels like forever. How long were you outside? She asks. Only a few minutes, but I've been up since 5. She smiles as I kiss her again. What are we going to do today? Phoenix asks. It's a surprise, but I promise it will be fun. First, we're going to go eat some breakfast. She begins dancing around, and I smile as I watch her. There is nothing more pure than seeing a happy child. I turn to her mom and look into her beautiful hazel eyes. How are you feeling about us? I ask softly. I feel good about us. Every argument I had with myself about what's right and proper was shot down by the way you make me feel and the way you are with Phoenix. As soon as she woke up this morning, she asked when you would be here. What about you? Are you having any second thoughts? She asks. None. Will you come to my house after we're done today? There's no pressure about anything. I just want to spend time with the two of you. She glances at Phoenix, who is looking in the dresser for clothes. Yes, we'll go to your house, and I want to do more than just kiss, but I'm nervous, as she whispers. Nervous about what? I ask. It's been a long time, and I was really young back then. What if, after we do it, you decide I'm not good enough for you? That's what she's worried about. Braylon, that is only a small part of a relationship. What we do together will be perfect because of how we feel for each other. There is no right or wrong way to do it. Not that I have much experience either. What do you mean by not being good enough for me? I ask. I barely have anything. I don't ever want you to feel like I'm using you or taking advantage of you. I care about you, Nash, and it has nothing to do with how much money you have in the bank. I just want to be clear about that because I never want you to have any doubts. I kiss her before she can say anything else. I don't think that at all, One of the things I like most about you is that you see me for who I am. Yesterday, when you tried to get me to leave after you found out I bought most of the prizes, it made me want to spend more time with you. Now stop worrying and let us go have some fun. Where do you want to go for breakfast? I ask her and Phoenix. Does Black Bear have breakfast? Phoenix asks. She has dressed herself in jeans and a pink t-shirt. Her curls are wild all over her head. Yes. Do you want to go there again? I ask. Yes, can we please? I look at Braylon, and she shrugs. I don't care, she says. Okay, then, back to Black Bear Diner it is. I sit on the love seat, and Phoenix has me open her Barbie doll while we wait for her mom to get dressed. Can I take her with us when we leave? She asks as I remove the doll from the box. Sure. We're going to go to my house later today. I don't have any kids' stuff there, so you can bring a few things if it's okay with your mom. We look up when Braylon comes out of the bathroom. She is wearing blue jeans and a green t-shirt, which may seem basic, but they show off her curvy figure. I know she has no idea just how beautiful she really is, inside and out. Phoenix runs over to her, and I watch as Braylon tames her curls and puts her hair in a ponytail while they talk. I have no idea what they're saying, but I don't stop smiling as I watch them. There is no doubt in my mind that I'm falling in love. Can I take my art supplies? Phoenix asks when her mom is done. Yes, you can bring whatever you want, I reply. Are you okay? Braylon asks. Better than ever. Should I tell her how I really feel and that I know I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her? No, it's probably too soon to say that, even if it's true. So instead, I stand and kiss her hard while Phoenix is busy getting some of her things. She smiles and wraps her arms around my neck. Sometimes, no words are needed as I look into her eyes. I can see she is feeling the same way, even if we're not ready to say it yet. A few minutes later, we are heading down to the truck. Braylon goes to her car to get Phoenix's booster seat while I load up the bag of art supplies and the few toys she is bringing. Nash, why are you spending so much time with me and Mommy? I lift her onto the back seat while we wait for her mom. I like spending time with you and your mommy. Do you like spending time with me? I ask. Yes, it's fun. Braylon joins us, gets the booster seat situated, and buckles Phoenix into it. I hold the passenger door open for her. You look really sexy in those jeans and t-shirt, I whisper as she gets into the truck. She looks down at her clothes and laughs. Seriously? I shrug and nod. She shakes her head and continues to laugh as I shut the door and go to the driver's side. It's still early, so when we get to the restaurant, there aren't many people there. After we give the server our order, I stand. Braylon, please excuse us for a minute. We'll be right back, I say, holding my hand out to Phoenix. Where are you going? She asks. I can't tell you, it's a surprise. Phoenix takes my hand, and I take her over to the display of Black Bear Diner merchandise. Would you like a bear? I ask her. Really? I can have one? She asks excitedly. Yes, and pick something out for your mummy too, I say. She looks at the different bears and picks a medium-sized one with a blue shirt featuring the restaurant's logo. She then gets a bear that is a little smaller with a pink shirt. The one is for Mummy because it looks like the mummy bear, she said, holding up the one with the blue shirt. I pay the woman at the counter, and we return to Braylon as our drinks are being set on the table. Phoenix hands her the bear, and she looks at me. You bought me a bear, she asks as I sit beside her. Phoenix wanted a seat to herself to color again. Yes. Phoenix picked it out for you because she said it looks like a mummy bear. Braylon smiles and hugs the bear. Thank you. I love it. She leans over and kisses me briefly. When our food is brought to us, we chat as we eat. Braylon is more relaxed today. As we're finishing, I get a weird feeling that someone is watching us. There are more people now, so I look around to see if anyone is looking at us. Is everything okay? Braylon asks. I feel like someone is watching us, I whisper as I continue looking around. I felt it too, but I thought I was imagining it, she says. Do you see anyone you recognize? I ask. I don't see anyone I know. I don't think so, but I can't be sure, she replies. When the server comes over, I hand her my credit card. She brings it back a few minutes later, and I stand. Let us get out of here, I say. I pick up Phoenix and hold Braylon's hand as we leave. Someone is definitely watching us, but I don't know who or why. I wonder if the person is from my past, Braylon's past, or someone who has nothing to do with either of us. Braylon's POV. I keep looking behind us as Nash drives. I thought I was overreacting at the restaurant when I felt someone watching us, but since he said he felt it too, I know I wasn't imagining it. He reaches over and takes my hand. Where are we going? I ask as he gets on the highway. The place I want to go is in Roseville. It will also give us a chance to make sure we're not being followed. Do you know anyone who would be following you? Nash asks softly. I glance at Phoenix, and she is busy playing with her bear and Barbie doll. No. Cole is in prison and not eligible for parole for another 10 years. Other than the people I work with, I basically keep to myself. What about you? I ask. I can't think of anyone. I only do my work, if you want to call it that, from home. Other than that, I volunteer at different places, but I can't imagine anyone from those places would follow me. We are good people with no drama. Do you think we're overreacting? Maybe someone was staring at us for another reason. I bite my lip as I glance behind us. What other reason? Nash asks. I don't know. It was just a thought. However, you are a very handsome man, and I'm less than average, so I'm sure that some people may wonder what you're doing with someone like me. Nash looks at me and pulls my hand up to his lips, kissing it. Have you ever looked at yourself? You're beautiful. Why do you think I went to the door yesterday when the pizza delivery driver was there? I know it's crazy, but I was staking my claim and letting him know you were taken. I burst out laughing as I think about the delivery guy's change in demeanor when he saw Nash. I didn't think about it yesterday. He was maybe 18, if that. I'm sure he thinks someone my age is old. Nash smiles as he pulls off the highway. You know, part of your beauty is that you don't realize how gorgeous you are. We're almost there, Phoenix. Are you ready to have some fun? He asks. Yes, 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 as she says excitedly. He pulls into the parking lot of a place I've seen advertised on TV. They have miniature golf, an arcade, go-karts, water slides, and so much more. I've never been here, but I've always wanted to come. It seemed weird to come with no kids, though, and Nash says. I smile as he parks. He is basically a big kid. I get out, and he gets Phoenix out of the back. She carries her bear in one hand and holds Nash's hand with the other. What are we going to do here? She asks. First, I want to play miniature golf, and then we'll see if you're tired or not. Nash looks at me and wiggles his eyebrows, making my face get hot. I know exactly what he is thinking. While Phoenix takes a nap, we'll have some alone time. We go to the miniature golf booth and pick out our putters and balls. Phoenix gets a pink ball, of course, because it's her favorite color. I get blue, and Nash gets orange. It's still early, so we're the only people on this course. How do we do this? Phoenix asks. I'll show you. Nash puts his ball down and hits it toward the dragon. It rolls underneath to the other side, but doesn't he go in the hole? Mommy, you go next, a phoenix says. I put my ball and hit it, but instead of going under the dragon, it hits it and comes back to me. I hit it again, and this time it goes under. Okay, your turn, I tell her. She hits her ball, but very lightly, so she has to hit it again. After 4 shots, she finally gets it under the dragon. You know this is going to take all day, I whisper to Nash as Phoenix keeps trying to get her ball in the hole. Well, at least she'll be good and tired. He kisses me, and I almost forget we're not alone until I hear Phoenix. Woo, hoo, I did it, as she says as she dances around in a circle. As we move from hole to hole, Phoenix and I start to get the hang of it, so it doesn't take us as long as I thought it would. Just as we're finishing with the last hole, I get that feeling again that someone is watching us. I take Phoenix's hand and look around. There are more people here, but no one seems to be paying us any special attention. What's wrong? Nash asks as we turn our putters in to the attendant. I feel like we're being watched again, I whisper. He looks around and puts his arm around me. Let us go inside to the arcade. I'll watch to see if anyone follows us, he says. I don't understand who could be following us. We go inside, and Nash buys tokens at the front desk while keeping an eye on the door. What game do you want to play first? He asks Phoenix. She goes to a game, and he gives her a token. I help her get set up, and she starts playing. I didn't see anyone come in and look at us. Let us play for a while, and let me know if you feel someone watching you again, and Nash whispers. I nod, and we begin playing games with Phoenix. She's having so much fun that I don't think she's laughed this much in her life. I take a few pictures of her and Nash when they're not looking at me. How about we eat some lunch and then we'll go to my house? Nash asks. Are we eating here? Phoenix asks. Yeah, we can eat here. They have food upstairs, he replies. He lifts her, and we go upstairs to the food court. We get cheeseburgers, fries, and milkshakes. When we're done, Phoenix looks like she's ready to pass out. Oh, no, Mommy, I left my bear with the games, as she says as we're heading back downstairs. We'll go to Lost and Found to see if someone turned it in, and Nash says. She nods and lays her head on his shoulder. She can barely keep her eyes open. Did anyone turn in a bear with a pink shirt? I ask when we reach the front desk. Yes, just a few minutes ago, the teenager says. He hands me the bear, and there's an envelope taped to it. What's this? I ask him. I don't know. It was on the bear when she gave it to me, he says. I open it and gasp. Nash reads the note over my shoulder and looks around. What woman gave this to you? He asks. I don't know. She was wearing a hoodie and sunglasses. I couldn't even see her hair. He turns away from us, and I look at the note again. Who is this woman, and what does she think I did to her? Hello, Braylon. You don't deserve to be happy after what you did. You and that brat of yours are supposed to be dead, so I'm going to destroy everything you love, one piece at a time, until you can feel the pain you caused me. See you soon. Nash's POV. We should call the police, I say. Braylon hand shakes as she stares at the note. Who would do this? I've never hurt anyone. Tears roll down her cheeks. Let us go outside. I wrap my arm around her and lead her outside. After getting Phoenix settled in her booster seat, I pull Braylon into my arms. She begins sobbing as I hold her. I'm going to call the police. Maybe this place has cameras inside or outside to help find the woman who did this, I whisper. She nods as she clings to me. I pull out my phone and look up the Roseville Police rather than calling 911. Roseville Police Department. How may I direct your call? Woman answers. I tell her where we are and what happened. She says she'll send an officer right away. The police are coming. I won't let anything happen to you or Phoenix, I say, hugging her. Why would anyone want us dead besides Cole? She asks. We'll figure it out. Does anyone from Kelseyville know where you moved to? I glance at Phoenix, relieved she is asleep. No. I didn't even tell anyone from my old job where I was moving. I haven't told anyone here about what happened with Cole either. I can't figure out what I did to make someone want me dead. She seems a little calmer, and she is clinging to me so tight I'm worried she'll fall if I let her go. I wave when I see a police car, and the officer drives over to us. He gets out of the car, and I try not to groan out loud. He looks cocky and fresh out of the academy. Did you report a disturbance? He asks. It's more than a disturbance. My daughter left her bear at one of the games inside, and when we picked it up from Lost and Found, this note was attached to it. She hands the note to the officer, and I can't believe he takes it without putting on gloves. Shouldn't he be worried about fingerprints or something? This seems like a joke to me, he says, handing the note back to Braylon. Someone tried to kill me when I was pregnant, and this person obviously knows about it, as she tells him. Where is the person who tried to kill you? He asks, sounding completely uninterested and bored. He is in prison. He'll be eligible for parole in 10 years. She seems just as exasperated with this officer as I am. Listen, this is just a note. There was no direct threat to your life, so call us if anything actually happens or if this person contacts you again. Is there anything else you need? He asks as though he did something. Apparently not, Braylon replies. The officer gets in his car and drives away. What a jackass. What do you think I should do now? She asks. Let us get in the truck and talk, I say as I open the passenger door for her. She gets in, and I go around to the driver's side. Are you able to take some time off work, and can Phoenix take time away from school? She looks at me, confused. Why? I hope she doesn't think I'm implying she can't take care of herself. How would you feel about the two of you staying with me until we get this figured out? She doesn't say anything at first, but then she looks at Phoenix and sighs. The right thing would be to say no because we just met you, but I'm scared, and I don't want anything happening to Phoenix. So, yes, we'll stay with you temporarily. Do you think it's too dangerous for me to go to work and Phoenix to go to school? Is that why you asked if we could take time off? I start the truck and nod. I think having either of you alone is too risky. She studies me for a minute. Okay, but are you sure you want us at your place? We can take time off and stay at home. I reach over and take her hand as I pull onto the highway. I have a top-of-the-line security system and plenty of room. I don't want you to feel pressured to sleep with me, so you can have a room of your own if you'd like. I glance at her, and she is biting her lip. I don't think she even realizes she does that most of the time. I was planning on doing things with you today, but I'm not so sure now. Everything is so chaotic right now that it might not be the best time for me to make relationship decisions. What if we go head first into this and realize it's not what we want? I squeeze her hand. Braylon, we can do or not do whatever you want. I'm not worried about us going too fast because we're consenting adults who have feelings for each other. We'll move at your pace, so you let me know what you're ready for. I told you, I'm not going anywhere. The things I already feel for you are things I've never felt for anyone. She smiles slightly and puts her head on my shoulder. You're a wonderful man, Nash, and I know how lucky we are to have you in our lives. By the way, why did your mom name you Nash? It's not a name you hear every day. I smile as I think about having this conversation with my mom. Have you ever heard of the show Nash Bridges with Don Johansson? I ask. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it. It's an older show, right? I laugh as I get off the highway and head to her apartment. If they are going to stay with me, we need to pick up some of their clothes and whatever else they need. Yeah, it was on around the time I was born, and my parents were huge fans. So they decided to name me Nash. Braylon laughs lightly. That's sweet. I wish I knew why my parents named me Braylon. I asked my aunt, but she said that until they called to ask if I could live with her, she didn't even know I existed. I pull up to her apartment and turn off the truck. Let us pack everything you need to stay with me for a while. I would rather you have too much than not enough. We don't know if this person will try something right away or wait until you least expect it. She starts chewing on her lip again. I can't take off work more than a few days, as she says. Are you worried they'll fire you? I ask. No, it's not that. I need to pay my bills, and I can't do that if I don't work. I didn't think about that. I'll help you with them. She starts shaking her head before I even finish. No, you have already done too much. I had a feeling she would say something like that. If it makes you feel better, you can consider it a loan, and you can pay me back. I would much rather you and Phoenix be safe. She looks at her daughter and nods. You're right. Anything I borrow, though, I will pay you back. I don't want money to ever come between us. I lean over and kiss her briefly. Let us get your things. I kiss her again and get out of the truck. I go around to the passenger side to get Phoenix, and she's waking up. I thought we were going to your house, she says as I lift her out of the truck. We are, but you and your mummy are going to stay with me for a little while, so we need you to pack some of your clothes. Braylon opens the door and holds it open for us. When we reach the top of the stairs, I have Phoenix stand beside her mom, and I hold them away from the door. You locked the door when we left this morning, didn't you? I ask. Yes, why? I point to her apartment door, which is partially open. Call 911. I'm going to see if anyone is inside. She pulls her phone out and takes Phoenix's hand. Be careful, she whispers. I nod as I push the door open. The apartment has been ransacked. Everything has been removed from the dresser and thrown on the floor. Most of Phoenix's toys have been broken. The kitchen is a mess and the refrigerator is open. The bathroom is also a mess. Whoever did this is long gone. I look at the mirror in the bathroom, and there's another note written in black marker. You already have very little, but I'm going to show you that you can have even less. By the time I'm done killing everyone you love, you'll be begging me to kill you. I will find you no matter where you go. I will always be there watching. Braylon's POV. Just as I'm getting off the phone with the 911 operator, Nash walks out of the apartment to hug Phoenix and me. I can see the mess behind him, and it makes my eyes fill with tears. We may not have a lot, but it was ours. Whoever did this is gone, but they destroyed almost everything inside and left another message written on the mirror in the bathroom. He whispers. Why can't we go inside? Phoenix asks. I can't speak as fear courses through my body. Who is doing this and why? Someone broke into our apartment and made a mess. I tell her. Why did they do that? She asks. I lift her in my arms and sit on the top step, hugging her tight. I don't know, but the police are on the way, so hopefully they can tell us, I say as I dry my tears. I look at the door below and see a police car pulling up in front of the building. I'll let them in, and Nash says as he runs downstairs. He opens the door, and 2 officers come inside. I hope they are better than the officer from earlier. One is female, and the other is male. They walk up the stairs and stop in front of us. Are you Braylon? The female officer asks. Yes. Someone broke into our apartment. I believe the same person left this note on my daughter Esper. I hand her the note and explain what happened earlier. She puts the note in an evidence bag. I'm sorry the officer from earlier didn't take this matter seriously. Can we look around inside? She asks. Yes, I reply. Nash takes them into the apartment, and I hear him tell them about the message on the mirror. I don't know what to do. I feel numb. Nash returns a few minutes later, sits beside me, and puts his arm around me. I told them you would be staying with me for now. They are taking some pictures, and they're going to have an evidence collection team come to see if they can find anything the person may have left behind. I nod and lay my head on his shoulder. I honestly don't know what I would do if he weren't here and willing to let us stay at his house. Braylon, I don't see anything salvageable in there at first glance. Will you be able to get some clothes and things until we've gone through everything? The female officer asks. This just gets worse and worse. I'll make sure they have everything they need. Nash replies before I can say anything. I would argue, but I don't have enough money to buy us more than a few things. I will pay him back every penny, though. We give them our statements, which aren't much because I have no idea who could be doing this. They each give us their cards and say we can leave. As we pull away, my tears start falling again. I feel violated. How did they get into the building? I ask Nash as I look out the window. I don't know. They could have buzzed one of your neighbors or followed someone in, he says. How did they get from Roseville in time to do that before we got there? Nothing makes sense to me. They could have gone to your apartment while we were playing miniature golf. You didn't feel someone watching us until we were finishing up. They could have followed us there, then gone to your apartment and come back. We were playing miniature golf for a while, so he's probably right. A few minutes later, we're pulling into a gated community. I feel overwhelmed as I look at the houses. Wow, these houses are so big, a phoenix says. Yes, they are. I think I live in the smallest house here. He pulls into the driveway of a house that is smaller than the others but still large. It's a 2-story house made of stone. Nash pulls into the garage, and I feel better when the garage door is closed. At least I know the person won't be able to get to us so easily here. We get out of the truck, and Nash opens the door to the house. I expected to feel sterile inside, but I should have known better. No one as warm and caring as Nash would live in a sterile house. It's so big in here, a phoenix says as she takes her shoes off and puts them on the shoe rack by the laundry room door. I remove my shoes as well and follow her further into the house. Everything is done in warm tones that make me feel immediately at home. This is incredible, I tell Nash when he joins us. Make yourselves at home. Braylon, when you're ready, we can order some clothes and things that you two need. We'll have them delivered so we don't have to leave the house. I turn to him as Phoenix begins exploring. I really can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us. I have no idea where we would be right now if it weren't for you. He wraps his arms around me, and I close my eyes. He makes me feel safe, and I need that more than anything else right now. You're not in this alone. He always knows what I need to hear. Nash, which one of these rooms can I sleep in? Phoenix asks when she returns to where we are in the kitchen, which I'm pretty sure is bigger than my whole apartment. You can have whichever room you want. Did you see one you liked? He asks. I smile when her little eyes light up. Can you come with me? She asks. Nash takes her hand and holds mine with his other one. We go upstairs, and Phoenix takes us to a room at the end of the hallway. How about this one? She asks. It has a big bed with yellow and green bedding. It also has a private bathroom. I think this is a great choice, and Nash says. Phoenix giggles, runs into the room, and climbs onto the bed. This bed is so big. I glance at Nash, and he smiles. Do you want to pick out your room? He asks, while looking into my eyes. I know I said earlier we were moving too fast, but I'm going to be selfish right now because I need him, so I'm going to do what I want to do, not what I should do. No, I want to sleep in your room, I whisper. Are you sure? He asks. Yes. You make me feel safe, and that is what I need. He kisses me lightly, and my face gets hot when I realize Phoenix is watching us. Where are you going to sleep, Mummy? She asks. Should I tell her the truth? I have to because I want her to know where to find me in case she wakes up in the middle of the night. I'm going to sleep in Nash's room. Why is my face so hot? Can I see where it is? She asks as she gets off the bed. Sure, it's downstairs, and Nash says. We go back downstairs, and he takes us to his room. The furniture is black, and the bedding is teal. There's a fireplace with 2 chairs facing it and a TV on the mantel. Is everything in your house big? Phoenix asks. I guess it is. How about we order some clothes for you guys, and I'll order groceries as well so I can cook dinner tonight? I look at him in surprise. You can cook? He looks appalled that I would ask. Yes, I can cook. My mom taught me. I also clean my own house, except I have a cleaning woman who comes once a month to do a deeper cleaning. We leave the bedroom, and I'm starting to feel a little better. Well, as good as I can feel knowing someone wants to kill my daughter and me. I would have liked to meet your mom. She sounds amazing. Nash smiles as he takes us to the family room. She was, and I've thought several times I wish she were here to meet the two of you. She would have loved both of you. He turns the TV on and puts it on a kids' channel for Phoenix. We sit on the couch, and he puts his arm around my shoulders. He then pulls out his phone, opens an app, and hands it to me. Put whatever you need in the cart. I take the phone and sigh. I really don't like doing this, but we don't have a choice right now. I start with clothes for Phoenix. I get enough to last a week. I then do the same for myself. Since I'm not going to work right now, I get things that are comfortable. When I'm done, I get a few bathroom items for us and hand the phone back to Nash. Is there any food you don't like or that you're allergic to? He asks. I don't like fish other than salmon, and I don't like mushrooms. We're not too picky about food, and neither one of us is allergic to anything, I reply. I tip my head back, close my eyes, and try to think of who could be leaving the notes. I honestly don't know anyone I've had even a minor conflict with, other than Cole. Okay, everything should be here within an hour, and Nash says. I open my eyes and look at Phoenix. She is sitting on the floor with her bear and Barbie doll, watching TV. I pull out my phone and text my manager to let her know I need to take some time off due to a family emergency. She won't be happy, but Nash is right, it's safer for us not to be out anywhere alone. I'm sure when you were at the mall Friday, the last thing you expected was to have a woman and her daughter who you just met staying with you. I lean against him and realize I never had moments like this with Cole. All the signs were there that he was only using me, but I was too young and gullible to see them. It may not have been what I expected, but I'm glad you're here. I just wish the reason wasn't he because of a lunatic. He kisses my forehead, and for just a minute, I can forget about everything that has happened today. We watch TV with Phoenix until the doorbell rings. Nash and I go to the door, and there are more than a dozen bags sitting in front of the door. We carry them inside, and I look at the ones with clothes in them. There are a lot more clothes than what I had ordered. I added a few items, and Nash says as he unpacks the groceries. He added more than just a few things. Phoenix has enough new clothes to last her a month. Thank you, I say as I take the bags with her things to her room. I smile when I see he got a lot of things in pink, her favorite color. After putting everything in the dresser and putting her bathroom items away, I return downstairs to get my things. I cleared a few drawers for you in my dresser, and there's room in the closet, too, and Nash says as he leans over to kiss me. I watch him for a few minutes as he prepares to cook dinner. He is a special man, and I'm a lucky woman to have him in my life. I take my bags into his bedroom, and as I'm unpacking them, I can't help laughing. I had gotten some basic panties and 2 bras, but he added some lacy sets that are better than anything I have ever owned. He also added more pants, shirts, pajamas, and even shoes. I put my things away and take the bag of bathroom items to his bathroom. The bathroom is black and teal, just like his bedroom. The shower is big enough for at least 2 people. I look at the bed before I leave and think about sleeping in it with him. Nash said he has never had a woman come to his house, so I'll be the first one in his bed. I'm suddenly looking forward to tonight. Maybe he can take my mind off of everything else for a while. Nash's POV. I smile at Braylon when she returns to the kitchen. When I saw how little she had put in the cart for Phoenix and herself, I had to add more. I hope the police find something so they can catch the person who was terrorizing her. Can I help? She asks after washing her hands. You can peel the potatoes and cut them up for mashed potatoes, I say as I season the chicken. I'm making roasted chicken breasts with mashed potatoes, gravy, broccoli, and biscuits. She begins peeling the potatoes, and I can't help smiling as I look from her to Phoenix. She is in the family room watching TV and playing with her bear and Barbie doll. They are the only ones I've had here since I bought the house. What are you thinking about? Braylon asks. That the 2 of you are the only people who have been here since I bought the house, and how happy I am to have you here. When I moved here, I pictured having a family one day. Her face turns slightly pink as she looks at the potatoes. It is a beautiful place to have a family. I saw what you bought for me. The way her face gets even redder makes me think she is talking about the panties and bras. I put the chicken in the oven, then go to her side. I couldn't help myself. You deserve nice things. If you need my opinion, you can try them on, and I'll let you know how they look. Her face is as red as a tomato now. Maybe when we go to bed tonight, I'll take you up on that, as she whispers. She continues peeling the potatoes, but I can't speak or move. All I can think about is seeing Braylon in nothing but one of the lacy panty and bra sets. I shake my head to snap out of it. I'm going to hold you to that. I spin her around and pull her into my arms so I can kiss her. She moans lightly as I slide my tongue into her mouth. She smiles when I let her go, and I start preparing the broccoli. Can I get my art supplies out of the truck? Phoenix asks. I'll get them for you, I say as I wipe my hands. I go out to the truck, get her bag of supplies, and the bag of toys she had brought with her this morning. When I return, I put the art supplies on the kitchen table and the toys in the family room. Braylon has finished peeling the potatoes and is cutting them. I wash my hands and get her a pot to put them in. I take the bacon out of the refrigerator and begin cutting it up. What has the bacon for? Braylon asks. The broccoli I'm making is something my mum used to make. You sort onion and garlic in butter, then add the broccoli. Once it's bright green, you pour in some heavy cream. Once it cooks for a few minutes, transfer it to a baking sheet and sprinkle mozzarella on top. You then broil it until the cheese is melted and turning slightly brown. When it's done, you sprinkle bacon on top. This recipe is what made me like broccoli. It sounds delicious. Phoenix sits at the kitchen table and begins drawing with her supplies. I haven't been around many kids other than in the shelters or at the mall when I'm the Easter Bunny and Santa. Phoenix seems mature and well-behaved for her age. She's humming as she draws, so I turn the TV off in the other room and turn on the radio. An hour later, all of the food is ready. Dinner's ready. Do you think you can set the table for us? I ask Phoenix. She nods as she puts her art supplies away and sets the bag in the family room with her other toys. Where can I wash my hands? She asks. I lift her so she can reach the kitchen sink, and she washes her hands while Braylon cleans the table. I hand Phoenix one plate at a time, and she puts them on the table. I then give her the silverware and 3 glasses. Once she's done, Braylon and I put the food on the table. I pour Phoenix a glass of chocolate milk and iced tea for Braylon and me. Everything looks yummy, Phoenix says. Braylon puts food on Phoenix's plate and her own, while I put food on mine. We eat in silence for a few minutes. Everything is so good, Braylon says. I reach over to take her hand, and she smiles. Did you like the broccoli? I ask Phoenix when she sits back in her chair with her hand over her belly. She cleaned her plate. I loved it. Mummy, we have to make broccoli like that, she says. She finishes her milk and puts her dishes by the sink. She is such a good kid, I tell Braylon as Phoenix goes into the family room and starts playing with her toys. I know I'm lucky. She is the best thing that ever happened to me. I love her so much sometimes it hurts. She looks at her daughter and smiles as she watches her. Have you ever thought about having more kids? She shrugs. I always wanted a big family, but I wasn't sure I would ever meet a man who wanted the same thing. Since I found out I was pregnant, Phoenix has been all I thought about. Men have asked me out, but I always turned them down. She looks at me and smiles. How did I get to be the lucky one that you didn't turn down? I move a little closer to her. You were a natural with Phoenix. She liked you immediately, and that says a lot to me. You were nice but not trying to overdo it to impress me. That's all I want. I don't like people who are fake in the beginning, and then when you see their true colors, they are not at all like they seemed. I lean over and kiss her softly. It helps that you're a good kisser, too. Every time you kiss me, it makes me forget everything else. That's what I want from you tonight. I want you to make love to me so I can forget that there's a crazed person out there trying to get to Phoenix and me. I smile and look into her beautiful eyes. I accept the challenge. I kiss her again, and then we begin cleaning up the kitchen. After we're done, I get out 3 small plates. What are those for? Braylon asks. Dessert. I didn't bake it, but it looks good. I open the white box on the counter and pull out a red velvet cake. Oh, wow, are we going to have some of that? Phoenix asks. Do you think you have room in your belly for it? I ask her. She pats her belly and giggles. Yes, there's always room for dessert. That's what your mummy said, right? She asks me. Yep, that's right. I cut 3 pieces of cake while Braylon gets forks. We sit at the table and eat our cake. Mummy, he's going to make me fat, a Phoenix says after we're done. Braylon and I burst out laughing. After putting our cake plates in the dishwasher, we join Phoenix in the family room and watch a movie with her. Okay, it's time for bath and bed, Braylon tells her. I feel like getting up and dancing around the room, but I refrain because I don't want to look like a fool. Will you come to my room and say goodnight before I go to sleep? Phoenix asks me. Yep, just let me know when you're done with your bath, I tell her. She picks up her bear and carries it upstairs. I can hear the 2 of them talking, but I can't hear what they're saying. Just having them here in my house makes me happier than I ever could have hoped. Nash, I'm done, a Phoenix says from the top of the stairs. I go upstairs, and she reaches for me to pick her up. She's wearing the pink pajamas I ordered for her. Thank you for my pretty clothes, as she says, kissing my cheek and hugging me. You're welcome. I'm glad you like them. I carry her into her room, and Braylon has the bed ready for her. Nash, can you read me a bedtime story? She asks when I lay her down. Sure. I don't have any kids' books, so I open my phone and quickly purchase the ebook of Charlotte S. Webb. It was one of my favorite books when I was her age. I pull over a chair to sit beside her bed. My phone is a Samsung Galaxy Fold, so I open it to the big screen so she can see the book. I start reading, and within a few minutes, she is sound asleep. When I stop reading, I don't move at first. Phoenix looks so innocent as she sleeps with her bear in her arms. I slowly get up and move the chair back to where it was. Braylon smiles when I reach her where she is standing in the doorway. During her entire bath, she was going on and on about how much she loves this house and you. I told her she was going to miss a few days of school, and she said that it was okay because we get to spend time with you. I smile as I put my arm around her. We can leave her door open and the hallway light on just in case she wakes up. I don't want her to be scared, I say as we leave Phoenix's room. What do you want to do now? I ask when we get downstairs. I want to take a shower and go to bed, she replies. I turn off the lights in the family room, but leave one of the dim kitchen lights on so the downstairs isn't completely dark if Phoenix wakes up. I set the alarm, and then we go to the bedroom. I'll take a shower when you're done, I say as she gets clothes out of the dresser. Okay. She goes into the bathroom and shuts the door. I get a pair of boxers out of the dresser, not sure if I'll need them or not. I don't want to be presumptuous, even though Braylon said she wants me to make love to her. I begin pacing while I wait for her. Nash. I walk to the bathroom door, but don't open it. Yes, I reply. Can you come in here, please? I open the door slightly, and she has the shower door partially open. Do you need something? I ask. She is biting her lip as she stares at me. Yes. She opens the shower door more. This shower is big enough for both of us. Would you like to join me? Villainess POV. Nash is staring at me with his mouth open as if he can't believe what I said. I already shaved my legs and washed before I asked him to come in here. I wanted to be bold and take him by surprise, and it looks like it worked. You want me to get in there with you? He asks. Only if you want to, I reply. He smiles and begins removing his clothes so fast that when he's pulling his pants off, he trips and almost falls. I laugh as he seems to get tangled up in his shirt when he tries to pull it over his head. Why are you rushing? I'm not going anywhere, I say. He finally gets everything off, and he's almost out of breath. It's been a while for me, Braylon. I'm not going to lie, I feel a little like a virgin teenager whose girlfriend said she's ready to go all the way. He steps into the shower with me, and I let my eyes roam over his muscular body. You know it's been a long time for me. Taking a shower with someone is a first for me. He hasn't touched me yet, and he acts like he doesn't know where to look. It's a first for me, too. I don't know what to do. He's cute when he's flustered. I move over to him and wrap my arms around his neck, pressing my body against his as the water rains down on us. This is a good start, I say softly as I pull his face to mine. He wraps his arms around me as our mouths move. I love the way he makes me feel. He suddenly moves away from me, turns the shower off, and gets out. What's wrong? I ask. Nothing. I can't do everything I want while we're in here. He hands me a towel, and I begin drying off. When he's done, he snatches the towel from my hands, lifts me in his arms, and carries me to the bed. He lies me on top of the teal quilt and smiles. Promise me something, he says. What? He kneels between my thighs and looks into my eyes. Promise that you'll give us a chance and not run away because you think we're moving too fast. It's one thing to say it now, with so much going on, but after they catch this person, I don't want you to have any regrets. I want you, Braylon. I can feel inside that what we have will be incredible if you let it happen. My heart races more with each word he says. I search his eyes for any doubts or hidden agendas, but there is none of that there. What is in his eyes is so pure it takes my breath away. I promise, I whisper. He smiles as he kisses me, and I feel the little bit of wall that was left around my heart crumble. He makes love to me so gently that it's more than just physical. It's deeper and more emotional than anything I've ever felt before. I don't want to move, but we'd better put clothes on in case Phoenix comes in while we're sleeping, and Nash whispers. I smile as I turn to look at him. For someone who doesn't have any kids, you think like a dad. He smiles and kisses my forehead. Being around Phoenix has made me think about what it would be like to be a dad. Being around both of you has made me think a lot about having a family. I had wanted my mom to have more kids, but she said my dad was her soulmate and she couldn't even think about being with anyone else. She always told me not to rush into anything that doesn't feel right because I would regret it later. I didn't understand what she meant, but I'm beginning to. No one has made me feel the way you do. Being with you feels natural, as if I've known you for much longer than 2 days. I move up so I can kiss him. I feel the same way. Let us get dressed because I'm sure Phoenix will be up bright and early. I kiss him again before getting out of bed. I decide to wear a pair of the lacy black panties that Nash picked out with green silky pajama shorts and a matching top. He puts on boxer briefs and a t-shirt. I take a quick wash up in the bathroom before getting into bed. Nash wraps his arms around me, and I smile as I lie with my head on his chest. Sleeping like this is another first. I don't know how long I've been asleep when I'm woken by the sound of a loud beeping. Nash jumps out of bed, and I do the same. What is that noise? I ask as we run out of the bedroom. The alarm. Someone tried to break in. I have to get to Phoenix. She screams just as we're reaching the stairs. Mommy. Nash's POV. I turn the alarm off on the app on my phone as Braylon and I run up the stairs to Phoenix's room. When we get inside, she is lying on her bed covering her face. What has happened? Braylon asks as she lifts her up. I heard the loud noise, and when I woke up, there was a face in my window, she says. I run over to her window and look outside. There is a ladder against the house that I know wasn't there before. I'm calling the police. I tell them. Could you tell if the face was a woman or a man? Braylon asks as she sits on the side of the bed with Phoenix on her lap. It was a lady, and she looked really mean, Phoenix says. I tell the 911 operator what happened and give him the names of the officers who gave us their cards. He says someone will be here in a few minutes. I sit on the bed beside Braylon and open the security app on my phone to look at the camera feed. She sprayed something on the cameras, but maybe the police will still be able to get an image of her before she sprayed them. Are you okay? I ask Phoenix. Yes, but why was the scary lady looking in my window? She asks. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Let me change the quilt on her bed, and you can lie with her there while I wait for the police, I tell Braylon. There you go again, thinking like a dad, she says. I smile as I kiss her forehead, and we go downstairs. We made love on top of the quilt, and I will feel more comfortable having a clean one if Phoenix is in the bed. I tuck them into bed just as the doorbell rings. I'm surprised when I see the same two officers who came to Braylon's apartment. Thank you for coming so quickly. I wasn't expecting to see you two, I say as I let them in. Dispatch called to see if we wanted to respond. They said someone tried to break in, Officer Mitchell says as she and Officer Kendall sit down at the kitchen table. We were all sleeping when the alarm went off, letting us know that someone was trying to break in. Phoenix was sleeping upstairs, and she started screaming. When Braylon and I got to her, she said a scary-looking woman was watching her through the window. I looked out of the window but didn't see anyone. There is a ladder against the house that wasn't there earlier. I have cameras, but she covered them with paint. I hand my phone to Officer Mitchell so they can see the video. Can you send us the videos? And we'll see if our IT people can clean it up. My email is on the card I gave you. We're going to take a look outside. So far, we haven't found anything at Braylon's apartment, but our team is still going through everything. We also requested video footage from the Roseville Police Department to see if there is any footage showing the woman who left the note on the bear. I send the camera footage to the officer's email and walk them to the door. There are several police cars in the driveway and people looking around outside. I reset the alarm and go to the bedroom as the sun begins to rise. Braylon is lying on her side, spooning Phoenix, who is sleeping. What did they say? Braylon asks softly. They are looking around outside. I sent them the camera footage, and they're going to see if their IT people can get anything from it. They said so far they haven't found anything at your apartment, but they did ask the Roseville police to get them the camera footage from yesterday. I sit on the side of the bed. Lie down, she says. I get under the quilt and spoon her, wrapping my arm around both of them. I was so scared when I heard Phoenix scream, she whispers. So was I. How are you holding up? I kiss her head, and she snuggles closer to me. I'm better than I would be if you weren't here. How did she get in the gate to the community? She asks. Unfortunately, living in a gated community gives people a false sense of safety. It does help, but if one of the residents pulls through the gate, another car can follow. She could have waited until it was open and driven in or walked in. That's why I have such a good security system. The houses here are spread out enough that the neighbors may not see anything. I hold her tighter while trying to think about who would be doing this to them. At least it's safer here than it was at our apartment. I know she could have gotten into our building, but how did she get into our apartment? I didn't notice if the door was kicked in or anything. Did you? She asks. No, I didn't either. We'll ask the police if they figured out how she got in. Do you think you can go back to sleep? I whisper. I'll try. Will you stay with us? I need you the same way Phoenix needs me. I don't want to be alone. I lean forward slightly and kiss her cheek. I'm not going anywhere. After a few minutes, Braylon falls asleep. I can hear the police talking outside, but I hope they don't need us for anything, so Braylon and Phoenix can get their rest. I doubt I'll be able to go back to sleep. Nash? I open my eyes and look around. I didn't think I was going to fall asleep, but I guess I did. Phoenix is kneeling on the other side of her mom, smiling at me. Good morning, I say. Braylon turns onto her back. I'm sorry she woke you, she says. I look at my watch, and it's after 9. I guess we slept for a few hours. I'm glad she did. I stretch and sit up. Is the scary lady going to come back? Phoenix asks as she gets on my lap. I hope not. The police are looking for her. What do you ladies want for breakfast? Braylon sits up and puts her head on my shoulder. You cooked dinner last night, so how about I make breakfast? She asks. Deal, but only if you let me help. I kiss her cheek, and she smiles. Even with everything going on, you can still make us smile. I need to call Phoenix's school to let them know she won't be there this week. She gets up and goes into the bathroom. Nash, are we going to stay here for a long time? Phoenix asks. I don't know how to answer her. I want them to stay for good, but I don't want to say that until Braylon is ready. You're going to stay here until the scary lady is caught by the police. After that, we'll see what happens. Do you like it here? I stand, and she hangs onto me, so I carry her out of the bedroom. It's nice here because everything is so big, she says. Braylon joins us in the kitchen as I sit Phoenix on the counter. After she calls Phoenix's preschool, we make pancakes and sausage for breakfast. When we're almost done, Braylon's phone begins ringing. Hello, she answers. Her eyes widen as she looks at me. Thank you for calling. Her hand shakes as she places her phone on the table. What's wrong? I ask, taking her hand in mine. That was the prosecutor from Kelseyville. She glances at Phoenix. Hey, Phoenix, why don't you go to your room and find something to wear? I ask. Okay, she says as she jumps up from the table, places her dirty dishes by the sink, and runs upstairs. What did they say? I ask. She said that Cole was killed in prison last week. Braylon's POV. I can't believe Cole is dead. I should feel something, but I feel nothing. I don't feel sad, happy, relieved, or anything else. Are you okay? Nash asks. Yes, I'm fine. I should feel something, shouldn't I? I look at him, and he shakes his head. No, you shouldn't. He took enough from you. He wraps his arms around me, and I smile. I suddenly pull away and look at him. Oh, no. Cole was killed, and then this woman started coming after Phoenix and me. It has to be someone he knows. I can't believe I never thought about this, even before we found out about Cole. Do you know any of the women who were in his life? Nash asks. I never officially met any of them, but I know his mom was still living and he had a sister. They came to the trial to speak on Cole's behalf. He was also engaged to be married. I don't know anything about that woman, though, because he never told me her name, and she wasn't at the trial. Does one or all of them think it's my fault Cole was killed? Let us call Officer Mitchell and tell her. Nash pulls out his phone and the card for Officer Mitchell just as Phoenix returns, wearing pink pants and a white shirt with pink flowers. She runs into the family room to play with her toys. Hi, Officer Mitchell. This is Nash. Braylon received some news regarding her ex. He was killed in prison last week. She was thinking that maybe one of the women in his life is responsible for what is happening now. She said his mom and sister were at the trial. He was also engaged to someone, but she doesn't know her name. Nash listens for a minute. Okay, thank you. He looks at me after disconnecting the call. She said she will look into it right away. She also said Detective Kayla Garner would be coming to talk to us sometime today. I nod as I watch Phoenix playing. I hope we're right about it being one of the women associated with Cole. Then maybe we can move past all of this, I tell him. Say it is one of those women, and they lock them up. What are your plans after they are no longer a threat? Nash asks. I turn to look at him. What do you mean? He smiles and takes my hand. I mean, when everything dies down, are you planning to move back to your apartment? I sigh when I think about what was done to our home. I don't want to go back there. Not to that apartment, because I don't think I could ever be comfortable there again. I guess we should start looking for a new place. I have been so focused on this woman, I haven't thought about what will happen after they catch her. Can I suggest something? He asks. Sure. He leans forward to kiss me. Stay here, he says. What? We can't stay here. We were only supposed to be here for a few days. He kisses me again before I can say anything else. Yes, you can stay here. I have plenty of room, and it would feel empty without you two here. I laugh lightly. We've only been here for a day, and you already think it would feel empty without us? I ask. Yes. All day yesterday, I kept thinking about how I wanted you to stay here, but I didn't want you to think I was being pushy. Will you at least consider it? I have to admit that being here has been nice despite what happened in the middle of the night. It's hard for me to imagine sleeping without Nash's arms around me. I'll think about it, I tell him. He kisses me, and then we clean up the kitchen. When we're done, we get dressed and then join Phoenix in the family room. After we've been playing with her for about an hour, the doorbell rings. Nash gets up to answer it. Hello, I'm Detective Garner. Can I speak with you and Braylon? I hear a woman ask. I don't know what question she is going to ask, and I don't want to go into detail about Cole in front of Phoenix. Hey, sweetheart, there is someone here to talk to Nash and me. Can you go upstairs and play in your room for a little bit? I ask. Sure, Mommy. She gets her bag of art supplies and runs upstairs just as Nash is showing the detective into the house. I join them in the kitchen, and I'm taken aback by the way she is looking at me. She looks angry. You must be Braylon. I'm Detective Kayla Garner. She holds her hand out to me, and I shake it even though I don't want to. She's making me uncomfortable. Nash seems to notice because he wraps his arm around my waist. Yes, I am. Thank you for coming, I say. Nash and I sit on one side of the kitchen table, and she sits on the other side. He holds my hand while we wait for her to begin. It sounds like you've had an eventful couple of days. Can you tell me what happened? We tell her what happened in Roseville, then how we found my apartment. We also tell her about the woman trying to break into the house last night. What makes you think this woman has anything to do with Cole? She asks. Is she getting choked up saying his name? It's only a guess. I was notified that he was killed in prison last week, and I can't think of anyone else who would be mad at me. However, he tried to kill my daughter and me, so I don't know why they would blame me. I see another flash of anger in her eyes as she stares at me. Do you think maybe this woman blames you for ruining her life? Maybe she thinks you seduced Cole even though you knew he was engaged to be married to someone else, a Detective Garner says. He came on to me, and he never said he was engaged or even seeing anyone else. If he had, I would have ended things with him. I'm not a homewrecker. Why does it feel like she's blaming me? Mommy. I turn and see Phoenix standing behind us. She looks terrified. I hold my arms out to her, and she runs to me. What's wrong? I ask as I pick her up and set her on my lap. The scary lady is here, she says. Where? I ask. She points at Detective Garner, who laughs dryly. I should have known the little brat would recognize me. Oh, well, I guess it's better we end this all right now. She pulls out her gun and cocks it. You're not a detective, are you? Nash asks. Yes, I am, but I was also Cole's fiancé. I told him to make it look like you had an accident, but you weren't supposed to live. Now, I'm going to have to take things into my own hands. Which one of you wants to go first? Nash's POV. My phone is in my hand, and I quickly press the side button 3 times. That button is linked to my security system, and when I press it 3 times, it alerts the police department. I hope they get here before this woman decides to shoot any of us. Why are you doing this? Braylon asks. Why do you think? You survived. Cole and I should have been married with kids, but instead, he went to prison. Why should you get to live happily? You aren't even supposed to be alive, Kayla screams. Phoenix clings to her mom in tears. Why did you become a detective here? Why didn't you stay in Kelseyville? Braylon asks. I know she's trying to keep her talking until we can figure out what to do. She's staying calm despite the situation we're in. Maybe it's a relief to finally know who is after her. When Cole was sent to Folsom Prison, I didn't know what to do, so I started keeping tabs on you. I was already a police officer in Kelseyville. When you moved to Elk Grove, I transferred so I could keep watching you. I just became a detective about a year ago. I visited Cole once a week, and we were making plans for when he would be released in 10 years. We would have still been able to be together, but then he was killed, and so were my dreams. She wipes away a tear that runs down her cheek, but I feel no sympathy for her. Why would you want to be with a man who disrespected you so much that he would cheat on you? He never once told me he was engaged to be married until the day I told him I was pregnant. I didn't want anything from him. He would have never heard a word from me if he had left us alone, Braylon says. I take her hand and squeeze it. You don't get it. We were high school sweethearts. Cole was my life. I knew he cheated on me, but that was going to change after we got married. All the others were one-night stands, and none of them ever got pregnant. You were different. He kept coming back to you. When I asked him about it, he said you meant nothing to him, and he was just getting it out of his system before the wedding. I believed him, and then you had to get pregnant. When he told me that, I told him you had to get an abortion because I was the only woman who was supposed to have his children. He said you refused, so we began making a plan to get rid of both of you. I followed him the day he pushed you off the cliff because I didn't want him to chicken out. I also made sure I was the officer who was called to respond to the accident. However, when I got there, you and your brat were on the way to the hospital. Fate was on your side that day, but not today. She lays the gun on the table but keeps her hand on it. I glance out of the window and see a police car pulling into the driveway with its lights off. Officer Mitchell and Officer Kendall get out of the car. Now, if we can just keep Kayla distracted until they get inside. Why did you try to break in last night? You had to have known I had a security system, I say. She looks at me and smirks. Most people have the downstairs windows wired, but not the upstairs windows. They feel secure, thinking no one will try to get in through a second-story window. I didn't expect the little brat to be in that room either. When the alarm went off, and she saw my face, I had to get away before anyone else saw me. I was hoping to break in, kill all of you, and make it look like a robbery gone wrong. However, now I have a new plan. Now I can say that I found the three of you dead when I got here. They'll blame it on the crazy person stalking and threatening you, and I'll be in the clear. I am not letting this psycho hurt Braylon or Phoenix. Why kill us? Cole is dead. Why not just move on? Braylon asks. Kayla bangs her fist on the table. No. I don't want to move on. My whole life has been wrapped up in Cole. How can I just let you off the hook for what you did? She screams. What did I do? Braylon asks. You didn't die. That's what you did. Everything that happened is your fault because you didn't die, but I'm going to rectify that right now. She picks the gun up off the table and points it at Braylon. The security system makes a soft beeping noise to let us know someone has come in the front door. Kayla hears it too and turns to look behind her. While she is looking away, I grab Braylon's arm, pull her out of the chair, and stand so she and Phoenix are behind me. When Kayla turns back around, I shove the kitchen table hard against her, making her chair tip back. As we start running, 2 gunshots are fired. Braylon's POV. Phoenix screams when we hear the gunshots, and then there is nothing but quiet. I turn to look at Nash, and he is fine, but Kayla isn't. Officers Mitchell and Kendall come into the kitchen with their guns still drawn while Kayla lies unmoving on the floor. She is dead, Officer Mitchell says after checking for a pulse. How did you know to come here? I ask as Officer Kendall gets on his phone to make a call. After Nash called and told me about Cole, we looked into his family and found that Kayla was his fiancée. I thought it was too big a coincidence that she transferred here right after you moved to Elk Grove, and that she wanted to be assigned to this case. On our way here, the station called to say they had received a panic signal from this house. Are you guys okay? She asks. Yes, we are now. She blamed me for Cole being in prison and for his death, I reply. We need to get your statements, and then do you have somewhere you can go? The coroner will take her body, and then the crime scene people will be here. After everything is done, we'll release the scene and send a crime scene cleanup crew. It may not be ready until tomorrow. I look at Nash, and he puts his arm around me. We'll stay in a hotel, he says. Okay. Why don't you pack a few things, and then we'll get your statements, Officer Mitchell says. I nod and carry Phoenix to the bedroom. Are you okay? I ask her. Yes. Is the scary lady going to wake up? She asks. No, and she won't be able to scare you anymore. I kiss her head and sit her on the bed. Nash pulls out a couple of suitcases. She said we only need to be away for one day, I tell him. I don't think any of us will be comfortable being here after what happened. So we'll stay in a hotel until we can find a house together. I watch him as he begins putting our clothes in the suitcases. Asking us to stay here because we don't want to go to our apartment is one thing, but finding a house together is something else. We're not even sure that once all the chaos dies down, we'll want to be together. However, we've only known each other for a few days, and the thought of not waking up in his arms makes me feel cold and lonely. We get to find a house for all of us? Phoenix asks. Nash looks at me and walks over to stand in front of me. Are you okay with that? I don't want to push you into something you're not ready for, he says. I'm not being pushed, but I'm definitely falling. I'm falling in love with him. Let us get out of here and talk about it. I can't make any big decisions while my head is all over the place. He smiles and kisses me before continuing to pack. When we're done with our things, he gets another suitcase, and we go upstairs to pack Phoenix's clothes. We grab her toys and art supplies before loading up the truck. We give our statements to Officer Mitchell and Officer Kendall, and Phoenix even makes sure they know that Kayla was the scary lady she saw outside her bedroom window. Where are we going? Phoenix asks as we pull out of the driveway. To a really nice hotel. I think we deserve a treat after everything that has happened over the last few days. Don't you? Nash asks as he reaches over to take my hand. I smile and nod. I would argue that we don't need to stay anywhere expensive, but I don't have the energy right now. I can't believe Kayla thought it was better to kill me and Phoenix rather than just moving on. I'm just glad it's over. I study Nash as he drives. We may be dead if it weren't for him. He put himself between Kayla and us when she was prepared to shoot us. Why am I still trying to fight what we have? If he hasn't run away screaming with what has happened the last few days, I doubt he'll leave when things calm down. Is everything okay? He asks as he pulls into the parking lot of a hotel I could never afford. Yes, everything is fine because of you. Nash, the words are so close to coming out, but I stop before they can escape. Why am I so scared to say them? I never said them to Cole or anyone else. He smiles and kisses my hand. Let us check in and order room service. He gets out of the truck, and the valet helps unload our suitcases while I get Phoenix out. When we go inside, Nash goes to the counter while we wait with our suitcases. Okay, let us go, he says when he is done. The porter pushes the cart with our luggage, and we all get on the elevator. When we get off, we go to the end of the hallway, and Nash opens the door, letting Phoenix and me go in first. Wow, this is so nice, Phoenix says as she begins to look around the lavish suite. Nash tells the porter where to take our luggage and then looks at me. I thought we should get a suite so we could have 2 bedrooms, he says. I smile and wrap my arms around his neck. You didn't have to get 2 bedrooms. Phoenix and I don't need a whole bedroom to ourselves, I say. Nash smiles and kisses me. Without letting go of me, he tips the porter and then kisses me again so deeply it takes my breath away. I was hoping that we could share a room, he says against my lips. I look into his eyes and see something I've never seen before, a future. I love you, I say the words that I've wanted to say, and this time there is no hesitation. We have known each other for less than a week, but I know what I feel for him is love because I can't imagine him not being with Phoenix and me. I love you, too. I wanted to say it yesterday, but I was scared you would run out of the house. I smile and slide my hands into his hair. I probably would have. Are we crazy? I ask. Phoenix runs into the room and puts her arms around both of us. Maybe, but we'll be crazy together. Isn't he that right? He asks Phoenix as he lifts her and kisses her cheek. Yep, so are we going to get a house? She asks. They both look at me. Okay, let us get a house. Phoenix claps, and Nash kisses me. Despite how this day started, I feel better than I have in a long time. Phoenix and I were doing fine on our own, but now with Nash, it feels like the piece we didn't know was missing has been found. I watch them as they walk around the suite holding hands, and my heart melts. Maybe one day we can give her a sibling or two, but right now we'll take it one day at a time. Easter morning. Villainess POV. I have been awake for almost an hour, but I didn't want to move, or I would wake Nash. Last night was our first night in our new house. Nash wanted to move in before Easter. I didn't think we could find a house and close on it that quickly, but he proved me wrong. Since he paid cash for the house, he got a good deal, and it was empty, so we could move right in. This house is even bigger than his last one, and it has a pool in the backyard, with an incredible security system, of course. I love it, but I still feel overwhelmed at how fast everything happened. Once the police released my apartment, we cleaned it out. Almost everything was ruined by Kayla, so everything went into the trash. With the exception of a few mementos that I was able to salvage. I turned the keys over to the landlord and never looked back. When Nash saw my car, he took me to a car dealer and had me trade it in on something he said was safer than the tin can I was driving. I have stopped being so uptight about how much he spends on us, especially since he talked me into quitting my job. He said he wants me to take some time to decide what I want to do and not be so stressed out about living paycheck to paycheck. So while Phoenix is in preschool, we volunteer at soup kitchens and shelters. I have talked to some of the people there about my idea for a place for pregnant women and women with small children, and they gave me some resources to help me get started with funding. It's only been 2 weeks since Kayla came to the house, but it feels like months. How long have you been awake? Nash asks without opening his eyes. How did you know I was awake? He smiles and pulls me closer. Your body is more relaxed when you're sleeping. If I had to guess, you're most likely deep in thought. He opens his eyes, and I laugh. I was thinking about everything that has happened over the past 2 weeks. Who knew taking Phoenix to see the Easter Bunny could change our lives so dramatically? He kisses me and then looks into my eyes. Well, she asked me to help you so you wouldn't be sad. Did I accomplish that? He kisses me again, and I giggle. You did that and more. I haven't dreamt about the accident since the day we met you at the mall. I didn't even know your name, but I dreamt about you that night. I never thought it would lead to this. He kisses me as his hand travels over my body. He suddenly groans as he lies on his back, and I laugh when I hear the little feet running in our direction. Our door bursts open a second later, and Phoenix runs into the room and jumps onto our bed. Happy Easter, I tell her as she snuggles between us. Happy Easter. Mommy, are you still sad? She asks. I look over her head at Nash and smile. No, I'm not sad. I'm super happy, I reply. She nods and smiles. Good. I asked the Easter Bunny to help you stop being sad. Did he do it? She asks. Nash's smile grows, and I try not to laugh. One day, I'll tell her that her daddy was the Easter bunny she talked to. That day will come soon enough right now. I want her to believe in the magic. Yes, I think he did. Are you happy? I ask her. Yes. Are you happy, Daddy? She asks Nash. She started calling him Daddy about a week ago. They were reading together, and she looked up at him and said, I love you, Daddy. I thought Nash was going to start crying. Yes, I'm happy. Now, how about we go and see if the Easter bunny left us anything? He asks. No, I don't think so because I told him I didn't want a basket this year. It's okay, I just want everyone to be happy. Nash looks like he's going to melt as he stares at her. Well, I think we'd better still check, he says. We get out of bed and head to the dining room, where there are 3 Easter baskets. Phoenix runs over to them and giggles. He left us baskets and made us happy, she says. What is this? She asks when she opens a little box with a note inside. Can you read it? I ask her. We have been working with her, and she can read some words. Look in there. What is this word? She asks. Family room, and Nash replies. We take her hands and go into the family room where there is a large gift wrapped that is way too big for a basket. The Easter bunny gave me a big present, she asks. I had a talk with him and asked him to leave you the note. This present is from your mom and me, and Nash tells her. She carefully removes the wrapping paper. You got me a piano? She asks as she sits on the bench. Nash sits beside her. This was mine when I was your age. I thought I could teach you how to play it, since you like to sing. My eyes fill with tears as Phoenix stands up on the bench, hugs him, and kisses him all over his face. Thank you, Daddy, she says before sitting back down. Nash looks up at me, and I see tears in his eyes, too. We may have come a long way in a short time, but we would have never gotten here if it weren't for Phoenix. The power of a child's belief in magic can move mountains. Even if you're an adult, don't stop believing in magic because you never know when something magical is going to happen to you.